Good evening. Welcome to a very special edition of Make We Talk this evening. We're going to speak about the land issue of the Bernard Lodge property in Portmore in St. Catherine, where the Prime Minister went into the Parliament and announced that he is sending a demolition crew the next day to demolition to break down the people's houses. This evening I have with me Mr. Herbert Nelson Jr., the chairman of the Crime Committee of the Caribbean region. I'm supposed to have Mr. Wilfred Rattigan with me, former FBI agent, and also Wayne Lonesome, who is also a record producer and a blogger in his own rights, who stand up for poor people in Jamaica. Mr. Nelson, unmute your mic and your camera, sir. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey, and welcome to your listeners as well. This is a very important topic, and hopefully we can cover much this afternoon.
Yes, sir. This evening we're going to start off with the demolition of the houses in Portmore. And before we go to there, I personally believe, and if I'm wrong, I'm stand to be corrected. I personally believe that the Prime Minister of Jamaica breached some human rights law somewhere, because the land belongs to the people of Jamaica. And if they don't have any land, I am not saying that they should go and capture government land or whatever. But if the government of the day can't provide land for its people, what should they do? Take over government land, can't feed them it?
One of the things I look back at, Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
Is back in April of 2018, Judge Patrick Brooks of the Appeals Court, he urged the Parliament to take a look at the Limitations of Actions Act, specifically its negative effect on property owners whose land holdings are taken over by squatters. The law as written does allow people to occupy land without permission or ownership papers, to not only resist efforts to remove them, but to eventually claim the property as their own.
Yes.
So in this case, where the people not only claimed the property as their own, but they went ahead and built their homes on the property. And I'm basing this on the court decision back then. The judgment handed down for 6 occupants of a property was that the government could not, the rule in the squatters' favor. After hearing evidence that they had occupied the land for more than 12 years. Now, I don't know how long these guys were on the land, specifically Bernard Lodge, but if the law says a reasonable amount of time passed, nobody evicted them, no ownership of the land claimed anything, then it would mean that the people had a lawful right to be on the property, and that they had a right to further build on it and occupy the property as their own. Now, the Prime Minister is saying he's the chief law enforcer. He's bumped, I guess, Dr. Chang out the way. And without any court order whatsoever, he's going out to clear people on their property. The question is, under what law, civil or human right, is he doing this? And it would appear that it's a direct violation of what the court ruled back in 2018. You know, I mean,
Mr. Nelson,
uh-huh.
is it that the Prime Minister did not know or just deliberately don't want to listen to anybody within his circle? Or he said, okay, I am the chief law enforcer, so to hell with the court.
Yeah. Well, under the Limitations Act, the people had a what they call possessory title. That is ownership of the land by someone who does not hold the deeds to document ownership, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're paying mortgage on homes. So under that act and the court's ruling previously, the Prime Minister had no right to go out there and clear these people off the property or dispossess them of their homes.
Because when you look at it, Mr. Nelson,
yeah,
and we're waiting on the other guests to come on. When you look at it, Mr. Nelson, is it that the Prime Minister don't have a heart? Because people are there. People are there. A young lady, as a matter of fact, before we go any further, Mr. Nelson, let us play this video clip to let you hear what really went down with this young lady here. Okay. Because I am trying to find out if the Prime Minister lost a screw.
Well, he just didn't care. That's my conclusion. We need some volume. It's not clear.
Hold on. Hold on. I think I did something wrong. I do apologize to my viewers. We're going to sort this out.
Probably aware by now.
Everything gone.
Hearing it properly now.
I change and let me go work in the mountain. Come in the abbey, come here, see if it below.
As you're probably aware by now, there is a demolition process taking place. It's an operation that is being conducted by the Sugar Company of Jamaica. We as law enforcement are merely here based on our assessment of the space, our assessment of the situation. We're here just to provide the security necessary for the workmen to do their operation. Our information is that criminal elements have acquired lands in this space. They have...
No, you hear what the chief information person of the JCF said, that they are aware of criminal elements living in the area. And you have members of the Jamaica Defense Force and members of the JCF who lives in the area. So why is it now? Since they want the land to give to their friend and their cronies, why is it now? They're going to hear all of this. Why didn't you hear it before?
It's unfortunate, Jeffrey, but the fact is, the cronyism and the person that they want to sell the property to, the Prime Minister himself declared a long time ago that he was going to do something about all of these unoccupied or unclaimed properties who didn't pay taxes all around Jamaica. But the government has to make a good faith effort, at least, to notify family members, wherever they may be, overseas or otherwise, to make this effort to either reclaim their property or to pay the tax, property taxes that's due on the property. But in this case, I don't understand what's going on. He's claiming that there are criminals out there. We should challenge him to produce a list of all the property owners there who make claims and to show which ones are the criminals. Because he's making a broad statement to justify the presence of a force acting on behalf of the Prime Minister. And just making a statement itself doesn't lend credence to his claim that there are criminal elements that have taken over the property. You have poor people and underserved people that need a place to live. And if those people get money from abroad, from the diaspora, or those people are getting money from other means, legitimate means, then they have every right to occupy and build if they've been there for a while, according to what the court's ruling was back in 2016 and 2018. So at this point, I'm not sure where Dennis Brooks is getting his facts from. He needs to give us more definitive outlines of how many criminals occupied how many lots out there. And it should not be a wholesale clearance because one or two people may have a criminal record. But those one or two people may not be engaging currently in criminal activity.
But what I get to understand, Mr. Nelson, is that criminal elements are the one who are selling the lands. No. If criminal elements are the one who's selling the lands, and you find out that as a prime minister who said that you come from a 2-bedroom board house in a Spanish town, you use chimney and pail. In a mel chimney, in a mel pail.
I remember that.
You say you use it. Now tell me something now. What kind of heart you have that you're gonna bulldoze down? You're going to the People's Parliament, Prime Minister Andrew Holness. And at the Holness Parliament. Not twiddly dum, not dum Parliament. It's the People's Parliament. You're going there, you said you're gonna send a demolition crew the next day, and you did so. Now tell me something now, Mr. Nelson. If it was some other modern democracy, could this nonsense go on and that man still remain as Prime Minister?
I can't think of anywhere else where somebody is so pro the rich, the influential, and the powerful. I mean, you were voted in by these people. Every vote counted, not by just one rich person or one corporation or anything like that, or companies. You're voted in by the people. And the people deserve to get some form of protection. The bottom line here is, rather than wanting to harm these people financially, which they are harmed, some are ruined more likely, you should have found an amicable way out. If you had to, move the house to another suitable area that you are offering to these people because they're committed to building homes. In most cases, most of them may not have qualified for loans or anything like that from mortgage companies. They may have come up somehow with, like I said, the money from the diaspora or other means, which is very commonplace. But under no circumstances are you to dump these people and then leave them destitute. And that's what apparently is happening here. He's got to have some other means as Prime Minister of addressing the situation through social services and other means.
On air, soon call him up. You see, Mr. Nelson, when the Prime Minister sent his demolition crew, he sent them with members of the JCF, members of the Jamaica Defense Force, and drone, or drummer, what they want to call it, if you fly in the air.
Yep.
Now tell me something now. You send them there to protect the land for your rich crony friend them. While black people in this country is being gunned down like blackbirds in this country. And this prime minister would have a heart. Huh? Bulldozer on the people house. He didn't give a flying kahuna where they sleep the night before, you know. He didn't give a damn. But the next day he went over there. Now tell me something. What sort of individual is this person?
It's all about the Benjamins, as we would say here in the US, right? The government earned nearly $4 billion from the Greater Bernard Lodge land sales. The SCJ Holdings Limited, right, forked up that money to the government. The question is, what were is the $4 billion designed to do? How much of that money would have gone to aid and assist these homeowners in transitioning into their own homes elsewhere? There should have been a trade-off of some kind. I don't know what the people in the area are, they predominantly GLP or PNP, because I know a lot of times it's based on the party that you're in and who you coordinate with.
I want you to listen to something from the MP Fitzjackson of the area. Based on what he's saying, if I am hearing this correctly, the People's National Party had put a stop into the selling of the Bernard Lodge lands. And this one here, the dictator that Jamaica has, the arrogant dictator that Jamaica has, with the Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice, dumb, and the Commissioner of Police, twiddly-dum. Based on what this man is saying, who is the MP Fitzjackson, if I stop order put to stop the land from selling, how the Prime Minister decide to sell the land them? After him land them. Anyway, like I behave myself this evening. Listen to this, Mr. Nelson, because I'm trying to figure out if Jamaica are owned by Jamaicans, if the Prime Minister is not the chief servant of the people of this country.
Well,
explain to we.
You saw the same thing, Jeffrey, back there with the Maroons earlier this year, didn't
There
you?
you go again.
Right?
Him fool the people, you know. But him calling off cockpit country. He fool the people because the part of the calling off, he never do it.
Yep.
Listen to what Mr. Jackson is saying.
House without the requisite approvals, dwelling houses, the law would come down on them, but the government is doing the same thing. This is being built by Phoenix Park, and the prices they are being sold for, and those which are being built in Sundown by HAJ, a government agency, building houses of the same market cohort, more expensive than the private developer, and so built on government lands, $22 million, more expensive for a comparable unit over by Phoenix Vista. And as I said before, they have deliberately circumvented me. In the previous administration of the PNP, there were private developers who wanted to build houses there, and I objected strenuously because of what the area was planned for. I didn't unilaterally get up and make the decision that it should be there. It was part of the planning that was approved by everybody, including the residents. And the agency talked about 20-something persons and said that they have consensus. I object to the houses being built there. I'm full support of houses being built in appropriate areas. Look at the Elsha area, for example, right? Minister Samuda, when he had responsibility in that area before, visited there with me and was struck by the vast expanse of land that is available to build more houses to satisfy housing demand, still in proximity to the corporate area. But guess what? The soil over there is different. It's more rocky than down here. So developers prefer to do this. Less expenditure. But there are comparable houses still being built in that. Look at Sandhill Vista. for example, that have been built, sold out easily. Those are the places for building houses, not to plant houses in the most prime farming land in Jamaica, in Bernard Lodge. That lunacy is just unexplainable. All the professionals have given their opinion on it. Not just me, a layman. That Bernard Lodge is not the place to build houses, but the government, for whatever reason, whatever motive. We have a large stretch of land going into Clarendon from here, along Highway 2000 corridor, that is supposed to be built out. Because one of the advantages or pluses of the highway, it gives easy access. So all of that corridor is there. You see the vast expanse of land there that can't be farmed on, that can be developed for new towns. HAJ in particular mandate was to facilitate affordable housing for those at the lower end.
But it seemed like an embarrassment to the Prime Minister because he was the one who break ground for
Officially
that
break,
development.
and they never got any approval
And then there was no approval from
for the buildings. They got approval for the development from the municipality, but they never get any approval for
That's
the
a strata
units being
development.
built, right? With the houses, actual structures they're gonna put there,
strata plans.
which is an indictment. It suggests to me that some motive that don't questionable motive is driving these things. Because there's a process to go through, and if we follow the process that can seek to protect everybody, then that's the way to go. Why is it that they do what they do over there? This is the kind of lawlessness
Then we found.
that is being led by government. You know, you imagine a private person, individual, not even a private developer, but not them too. A private individual building a house without the requisite approvals, a dwelling houses. The law would come down on them, but the government is doing the same thing.
You see what is going on? I must say welcome to our good friend Wayne Lonesome. He is a record producer and also a man who speaks out for the poor people of Jamaica. He's a blogger, a journalist in his own right. Wayne, welcome to the show. I have with me Mr. Herbert Nelson Jr.
Yes, Mr. Nelson.
Hello, Wayne.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
See,
All right. So I just see a little excerpt from what's going on there.
Right.
And as I came in, you know, as I just come in now, me just come in with some act news to you right now, right?
Go ahead, man.
You know that over there, you know that land, that same piece of land, it's alleged that the Prime Minister himself have some land over there too, right? Me not ready for bust that yet, you know. But you know, so Grace Kennedy built a factory on the front part of Bernard Lodge.
What?
Still, okay. No, go that alone. You know, some of food, West Simcoe, where you see them build, where them get land and build them thing. You know, it's a part of that too. Because let me tell you where Bernard Lodge, the whole sugar thing start from. You know, you remember out of Mandela Highway, that's where you see the whole cane.
Right.
And go across is like a triangle, like a, what do you call it now? Yes. Like, so it start from this over Portmore, go back cross, so salt pan, where they want to call it, go cross back, open a part in the St. Catherine.
Right.
So you remember say, Red Stripe, get around 200 and something hectares from them for 25 years.
Right.
From the same sugar company in Jamaica, to go do cassava. 25 years they must lease. Right? So it's all about the big man, you know, so they want to leaching like 3,000 or 4,000 acres for go to plant him thing on it, right? Me don't know the man that do plant it. No farming, right? So me I said to the government, why it if we want, because we want rise entrepreneurs, right?
Right.
Give them the chance, cut up the land, make the farmer them do them farming instead of me to come work with people. Remember this place is a slave place, you know, brother. What our ancestor them blood, sweat, and tears for the same place.
Right.
And other sugar estate in Jamaica. So me don't feel say you should have rushed the people them, by the way, in a to the paper. You see, the Prime Minister himself do the thing when we call damage control. I tell the people them one bag of foolishness and chewing them a run road and you know him a make sure because it name damage control. And this is evil. You understand? So everyone go on in a damage control mode because him done mash up women, mash up everything, and people say them is not for the poor. Them is for the elites. And
Well,
we're
the
right here.
they're for the vumva and the vumva of society.
Yes.
Not for the people who live below crossroad.
Yes.
And the people of Jamaica must take a stand. Enough is enough.
That's true.
It cannot continue like this. The land belongs to the people of Jamaica, not to Andrew Holness and his cronies.
That's it. Remember, you know, me tell you already, so we never elect a prime minister yet because we're the Westminster model. So we never vote for a prime minister. Them just appoint a prime minister.
Right.
You know, because you're a leader for your thing, we appoint you. But we appoint if you look about our affairs. When we say government, you know, mean, oh, you're in there, sit down for 5 years, so your things, then you just sell your asset without consult us. And you can't do anything, and we don't hold you accountable. At time for we start holding them accountable. Every one of them. A matter of fact, every member of parliament. Because when we start, you know, before you get a vote, even get some lie and draw some documents, before you vote for who you want or in your MP, you have to see them, you have to keep meeting every week. And we have to know where you go, Edward Morgan that are the parliament. You understand? Because you have to carry our plea to the parliament. You can't just carry you represent we, but you don't talk to us. It don't make no sense, brother.
But
It don't make no sense.
But not only that, you know, Wayne. When you have a prime minister who went into the parliament, the people's parliament,
Yes.
and tell the nation and the world
The lies.
that a bag of lies that they have criminals living over there. Yet you have members of the JSF living over there.
Yes.
Members of the JDF living over there.
Yes.
And the prime minister went and tell the people that criminals are over there, and he's gonna send a demolition crew.
Yes. No, he must say, when it come out in the paper, and you know, it put a statement on the paper because good people living over there. If they say it in the paper today, but so this man, you see that these lies and things, this man is a dangerous man to society, to our society.
He's a pathologically mendacious individual.
That's true.
And the word I want to use, I can't use on the air.
That's true. You understand? It can't work no more, brother. We have to stand up against these kind of things. It's wrong. It's so wrong. You understand? And it's a thing when we see what I do right now, you know. Him offer the whole of the land, then you go threaten maroon, them have a hinterland, you want the land, and when you look now, Chinese get 1,200 acre land. You know, if you follow the North Vietnam, the
North Highway.
Yes.
1,200 acres, and then people live for less than 2 acres, and you go bulldoze them down. You serious? When our people, our ancestors, blood, sweat, and tears, who get sodomized, raped, all kind of things, them suffer under that. You understand me? And then you go and tell them, say, okay, them can get flat for buy. Remember, you know, how much you ton of steel now? Over 200,000. A house like that are more than 2 ton of steel, 3 ton of steel in it, more than 300 bag of cement, plus black, plus labor work. This is your money where you have and try bill, and then you lick it down. And now you come and want to friend people, you couldn't put your hand for me. You couldn't do it.
Listen to me. If it was some other country, you know, India not go to that man, you know.
You know that? That's for sure. So the people them now no gangster over there neither. You don't got show yourself him going to the house got tell lie. Because if that was a gangster place and then you have helicopter, how much you put helicopter in the air, brother? You think a little bit of money for put a helicopter in the air? And then you have the bushmaster, they were carrying the man, they would find them bushmaster, they like a why you gone. You know who advised him? The same Google Gaga, the commissioner. When
I Google Gaga, you know. But
yes.
Your name Twiddly Dum Dum.
He has been MC man, aka Twiddly Dum. He's a Google Gaga, is a baby, you know. Remember,
and the funniest thing, you know.
Google Gaga, I don't know what am I say.
But the funniest thing, you know, Wayne.
Yes.
When you have a prime minister gonna send out the army to secure land for friend when a poor people land. And gunmen are shooting down black people in this country like them a blackbird and they can't know about it.
That is it. Him send up Joe and him lie. Him going to the parliament and say, this are the information where him getting from him, film intelligent community, film thing. And him I tell you how much and how them, let me tell you this. Someone who live there talk to me today. Prominent people and tell me, say, these people that I don't know them live there a long time. I feel them people that lived there before. Pass on to them. So when them come and talk about gun, who sell nothing no go so. Nothing no go so. And you see the man where them say, Clifford, that way name? Cliff work with the sugar company of Jamaica and work with the same man who want deny him. So them now pass up the land to them big friends. So everything where this prime minister come and say, him turn when I do it to the poor. So when them come and say, boy, me love the poor, and me do this, and him turn on, and me set this. Him just turn on and then him come for destroy the poor. And just the rich people, them alone, him look out for. Jamaica sink. This is the worst prime minister ever in the history of Jamaica.
I thought PJ Patterson was the worst, but he's the worst prime minister in the history of this country.
The history. And then each time him do foolishness, when him do, him run out and try to do damage control. It not work. We're not going to allow him that opportunity. We're not going to do that.
But the laws allow Jamaicans to own lands.
Yes.
Even if they capture it, I feed them hit.
That's what, remember, you know, when you put in the executive to run your country, we just remind him again, right? Remember when you say government, all right, you notice how Trump carry home some document and them have to tell him and say no government because of the people.
Right.
Malola go wait for name. And I'm out for getting at some trouble. Because the documents where you carry home and some things on this and that, and you earned. So although you govern over the thing at your time when you are served, it not belongs to you. Same out for getting at trouble. You understand? You see me I say? So this man, every 5 years we have an election. You know say the thing them where you are run, and I feel it belongs to the people of Jamaica. So you can get up and sell the land and sell everything and divest everything and then I want like I earned. People give it for you. I earn one. And then what do people them for live? You take the job and you get to Chinese. How much Jamaica they are China now? But Chinese government give you land. How much piece of land on the north? What we get from China? Eh? And it's enough to a bigger country. It's a bigger country. China just a little bit smaller than US, you know. In a size, you know. I like the same size, you understand? So how much land we get from China? What our people over there work now? And I work some nice money and get big contract and build them road and do all kind of things to them. Eh?
But Wayne, after Mr. Herb coming, but Wayne, the question must be asked, you know. Who are the developers and what's their name?
I'm going to tell you, all right, said no give me them name. But you have one name. When they build some other place, some of them, them get land for nothing at all. When them they build some housing unit over there, them name must say Concord housing, Concord something like that housing. But them they build up 2 scheme over there, them get the land for nothing. And them are sell the land like 16 or something $1 million one unit.
They get the land for free.
Yes,
and they build house and they're selling the house and the land to poor people.
Yeah, too much million per unit. No, you still can't buy it because by the end of the day, you're not working this money, you don't have job. Call center job or not job, when you get a little call center job, them are rob you this so. You understand? You not get no job, right? Eh? And this is what them are do. It will stop, brother. Them thing I need to stop. It just need to stop. Yes, man. Them thing I need to stop now. You understand?
I go back again. If the court rule that squatters have rights and that once they have occupied the land for a while and they even build homes on it, that they have every right to occupy the place. What the government has done is undermine the courts by claiming, perhaps falsely, that these are criminals. Now, the criminals, all the time that they were doing, shoveling sand out of the area. Why didn't the government tackle that if it was a criminal act back then? Why have they waited all this time to when people actually build and occupy their homes to come and destroy the homes of the people and put them out? You know, that is destroying people's entire life savings.
But I tell you something, go back to the 70s when Michael Manley, they don't tell you him take the people them off of the hill like them are goating up on hillside, right? And they tell you if you depend them the past this, and you know that, right? If you live on a piece of land undisturbed for more than 12 years, you administrate the land and then you deal with what you deal with, right? As I said before, these land are slave, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, our ancestors. We should not have this in a 2022 because say a prime minister stand up in a house of parliament. When they done already have the army, you know.
Yeah.
Him just carpet the place with the armed force, with helicopters and everything, and do a thing like this. It's so wrong, brother. It shouldn't be.
You know, to me, it look like we're living in a totalitarian country where we have a dictator. No, we don't have no dictator on this program, but we have people with integrity. There's a man who's on this program right now who they don't want him to become commissioner of police. They want Twiddly Dum Dum. I have with me none other than Wilfred Rattigan, former FBI agent and attorney at law. Will, welcome to the program. We're talking to our good friend Herbert Nelson Jr. and our other good friend, a man who speaks out for poor people, Wayne Lonesome. Wayne, you see the man there, you see him wiping in glasses?
Of course.
You mean business tonight, you know?
Of course. My brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Lonesome.
We mean some serious business. Yes, man.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to see you, man. Blessings. Herbalist. We did with Herb last night. Now, we have some little things and we are share some ideas and things like that. And this is one of the things where we are talking about, man.
Yes.
The man, it messy. My heart bleed for the poor people, man.
Oh, man.
Mr. Rattigan, your views on the whole of this. If this was the United States,
no, it
you
won't
think that man would be still in the Congress or in the Senate?
No, it not happen. You know, one of the interesting things, and sorry to be late, but I apologize to the listeners, but Jeffrey, I had a little thing.
Yeah, man, I know.
And then what happened? Somebody called me, and said, boy, you need to get on because we and Jeffrey and Herb, them attack the things, you need to jump on. Some of me need no dinner and me just come straight. They need no dinner, me just don't worry, me just come straight. But I tell you what, one of the most interesting things is that them say that I was watching the Prime Minister, I think it was a day after them bulldoze the place. Him talk to the community. And him say, yes, we're gonna build 15,000 homes and you can get a mortgage and stuff. Them people not qualify for no mortgage.
Them not come out. Them only come out. Them coming like Amazon people, because them people work at the cane feast, brother. So them not like them out there, them not have certain job, them not qualify. So you still give people some fight. Him no matter of fact. As you just said that. When you think about the white elephant up the building where them go build.
Road?
Yeah, the one where them build up there now, 37.8 million. Let me tell you something. If you have that money, how much million you want to live in a little axe tie together like that? None.
Right.
So you shouldn't take housing trust money, go build something like that because it's going to be a white elephant.
Hello.
It doesn't make sense, better.
Listen to me. You think it's them alone? The Transport Authority has a white elephant downtown Kingston, you know the old Jamintel building?
Yes.
You know what live in there? They're raising pigeon inside there for export.
Must. Yes. This is what
that is what they take poor people money do in this country.
Yes.
The People's National Party is no different from the Labour Party.
You see, Jeffrey, that's why I love the program with you, I love the program with Lonesome, and I'm gonna start up my little thing because we need voices to be heard. Because listen, when the Prime Minister out there not chatting nonsense, it's too bad that the people them never even, and I don't know if they did it after, but for the period that I listened to, nobody said to him, but Mr. Prime Minister, which bank is going to give us a mortgage? Because we don't have a regular 9 to 5. We hustle. You know, we sell stuff on the street, we do this, we do that. So which bank is gonna, because part of the whole purpose of a mortgage is that we lend you money because we want you to pay it back. You have to pay it back with interest, right? And they must say, them people, them build them house little, you know. So I'm gonna put on through a partner money and put on a room. Then they won't do nothing more for like another 6 months or so. Mortgage different. You have to make that payment every month. If you don't, your house gone in a foreclosure.
But
So to me, here's a sample now. Here's a trickery right now. Him know them people can't get the loan. So the thing about the 15,000 him go build, him not building it for them.
Yeah.
Him not building it for them because him know them
No.
people that can't
You know
get
what
them.
I'm saying? You know, for even the loan, the way I'm tell them, say, 3 persons can come together and take out the loan for buy out. No. If you have a 2-bedroom now, you have your wife, Radigan. And me's a single man there, so now, and then you have a 2-bedroom. So the 3 we are going to take out.
unlike me, who have wife and sweetheart.
So we don't know how that one that go now.
Well, Jeffrey, you know, Jamaica may have a unique arrangement there that the rest of the world can emulate, if it will ever work. But you're right, the man is a wheel about man. You come out there, and that's the point I made before. These people getting money from the diaspora relatives, the relatives putting money together here in US, Canada, the UK, and Jamaica, and the building. So after they have occupied for a while, does the law say it has to be 12 years for them to be considered a long-term squatter? And the limitations of government to prevent them from destroying it, you know, maybe do you know that answer, Lonesome?
No, because government have the wrong idea, you know, because if you look at every developed country, whether Canada, whether America, whether US, UK, whether Europe, them always provide for them people.
Right.
When you come together, remember these people do some executive, you know, to manage our affairs. Says all of us, that land belongs to us, you know. So when they make a government and you put him in there, you wouldn't bother vote him in if him a government to himself. You know, make no sense. He manage our thing for us, our asset.
Right.
You're not supposed to just sell our asset without him talk to us. If when you live on the land, if you turn squat up on the land where you're born and grow, brother, him suppose all right. Like in the US, don't them have projects? Don't kids have them have go school? Any country will put kids and old people asses a fair state, brother. And that's a Jamaica where they used to the youth them a white glass and all kind of things. And you depend government land which belongs to us. And you are come take our people and say, this is government land, you're not supposed to step on it where you live.
The question must be asked, you know. And we need to get some answers from the Access of Information Act. How much of that land have been sold since the Labour Party come into power?
We have to forget that, you know. We need to get it. But as I tell you before...
And who buy the land? Which company buy the land? Is there a company from St. Lucia that buy the land too?
No, we have to get it. 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 And we're not playing with them.
All I can see in the record is that there's something like 5,500 acres being sold, and 3,000 acres was promised to, I guess, Legion for agricultural development, right? But if...
So tell me something though. Just don't pass Legion yet.
Yeah.
So Legion, I never know Legion as the farmer. I know him as a banker. And I'm a billionaire. So we want to raise some entrepreneurs. So it's simple for the government, go back like the MC kind of style and them thing and say, okay, Gil wants a piece, give Jeffrey a piece, give Radigan a piece, you get a piece. You even have a quarter acre, me do pepper, what have you, that you can be your own entrepreneurs and grow with things. You understand? But why you want, we know if we go farm for leaching, we're gonna get the seed and everything, you know, and grow, but leaching, pay what we want, pay with 300 acre land for 6%. That don't make no sense, brother.
In the same way, go to Portland. then give him Portland. And the people of Portland who sell coffee have to sell him and him give them money for the coffee, you know.
That it now work. Now get we have to cut out this. So you are work and I make a man, him a billionaire already, you know. And you told him that more, he might make more. I don't know what happened to these people. You understand? And it bad. Now with that the blue hole, or what they want to call it in a Portland, you know what say? Me here say a lot of them have place up there, you know. Right along the blue hole, right? That's the nice water, the blue lagoon now wait one here. The whole of them have place up there right now. Get land up there. All of them. You understand? Enough of the company them name I call them get land up there. So this man issue land for them to the big boys.
But not only that in a way, not only that in a way and Sir Herb and Rattigan. Information reaching me that a certain private jet landed at an airport in London for the Queen's funeral. Me not call her name.
So you see that?
The name was on it and the big nose.
Okay, we know. I'm gonna tell the king lie.
Oh, God.
But the Jamaican people are so sorry about them. But a damn man lie, a wicked man.
Eh? You can't go tell the man lie when the man say, no, you never have to take time to come. You say, no, sir, because Jamaica people warm and love. Don't tell the man lie. The man does build up so much lie, it's unbelievable. Every other word come out of my mouth is the next lie.
I was just telling Mr. Herb a while ago
Yes.
that he run a campaign. I grew up in a 2-bedroom house.
Yes.
And nearly about 3, man.
No, one himself.
One and then two.
And then
One
two.
person, one with him great grandmother, and
Yeah.
then two with him mother and him father and everybody. So, if you believe in this man, you grew up in a 1-bedroom house, live with your granny, go to school with 60 people in a class. Me no know that none at all. Me no even know him at all because me know him born 72, so I'm younger than us. So, but me no know school.
No, he and I is the same age, you know.
So you ever go in a class with 60 kids? I'm not everybody, no, man.
No, hold on, man. He's
man,
talking about
man.
the parliament, man.
Eh?
He's talking about the parliament. He's the head boy for the parliament, you know.
Jesus.
And Phil, hello, Phil Daliberta. The speaker for the house, because I can't pronounce her name, Phil Daliberta.
Yes.
And the one when name Warmington who believe. He must have built up and Duppy Conqueror. Then they give him some award. And it's paid disrespect and disrespect the journalists in this country.
So hold on, you have a Dalbert, Phil Wimple, like Willie Winkle, where the more call Dalbert, Wimple, Willie Winkle, what's your name? She same one where the people them are mobile, where the youth, where them take the people them land. Sell the people them business place. And I know, and the Prime Minister know about it because I get the letter.
I have a copy of the letter, you know.
Okay, you have a copy.
Yeah,
and
just send to me.
Turn a speaker of the house. That's why it's a pirate house, but be a criminal them there. Then listen, that is a pirate house. The woman them forward some signature and get the building and feed them people, them name and then sell the people them place, brother. Them at about land. Charge of around 2,000 acres for St. Thomas. Him not come from St. Thomas, but and I see him Ken land. And them no send the captor over there or anything but Charles. Own this land. It's so bad. You understand? It's bad, man. It's very bad.
One of the things we need to do, and I mentioned it the other day, is that we need for and Lonesome, we'll talk offline and bring you up to speed on some of the things that we are doing. But one of the things where we are trying to is we are look at donor funds and taxpayers funds. Yes. Because we believe, and I'll keep the proof aside out of this conversation, but we believe that monies that went to Jamaica to help poor people, some of those monies ended up in accounts belonging to politicians or their relatives or their minions, right? Yes. And we also believe that the money, taxpayers' money, some of those monies ended up in the same place. Now, here's the key. The key is once you do that transfer and it touches the American banking system, then you have committed a violation, which makes you subject to investigation by the US government. And so we're planning to put together a package at some point and approach the relevant authorities. And like I said to them before, if them know we're good for them, take back the money and go build the clinics, the roads, the schools, create jobs, all that stuff for the money was intended for originally. Them need to do that, because if not, head I go roll. Head I go roll, man, I tell you that. Right?
I mean, I want to take it back in the Vatican. Tell you the truth. I want, at time, for some of them wear some short pants, you know. Yeah, man. Some of them have to end up back in the same dungeon them. You notice we not build real prison in a Jamaica for a long time because them feel, oh, we're not going to them place. It not make for we.
Right.
That got change.
Right.
That got change.
Right. Because here's what happened. If Jamaica afraid for put them in a prison, the US, UK, Canada, and elsewhere, they're not afraid to do that. Right. And like I said, somebody said to me, oh, people that say, boy, you know, your bad mind kind of get the job. And you upset me kind of get the job. I say, yeah, somebody said that. I said to them, say, you know, to be frank with you, if what me I say is true, then what does that have to do with the fact that me apply for the job and never get it? But I say, even if you assume that me upset, I say, even if you assume me upset, you know me upset, boy? Me upset so me not put the bangle upon them. Because if me did get the job, we would not have the conversation, you know. Because I would have wake up one man and say, half our government, missing. And when them look them to them on CNN and come off in a bangle, right? I go face justice elsewhere. We say, that is when me upset about, that me not get the chance. So now me go do it a different way, because there's more than one way to skin a cat, you know. So since them never make me do it, they're going to try and make somebody else do it, somebody else who have a vested interest, because I feel the money come Jamaica for help poor people, and the money gone, and the help not there. The poor people them can't show where they help there. So poor people, I want me to talk to. The whole of we is upon this thing, I want we are fight for. We don't have to do it, but we have to do it, because we are uno. We come from monks, you know, and it's not enough for we reach a level in our life where we say, boy, we comfortable, so we don't have to worry about the rest of them. Make the rest of them fight them we and come out tight, like how we come out tight. No, that's not good enough. I'll give an example. There's a guy in the Waterhouse who in second year in a medical school, you know, in people him couldn't afford to help him pay the tuition. He have to drop out. He must have dropped him out. I don't know if a sky juice or bag juice or where myself. He have to drop out. You know, that shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen. But it happens.
Because you see that door, but you have a health minister. I gotta take $85 million. Alleged, give a sweetheart, market me. Say you promote healthy eating. Healthy eating when people have not health eating.
Health is Jeffrey behave yourself. Health is Jeffrey behave.
We know what kind of eating matter.
I guess that's healthy. Get all the nutrients right, Lonesome.
All the Jeffrey behave. You're the front here.
Including what you call it? True juice.
Well, I'm maybe ice cream too.
Yeah.
Oh, the Roman raisin.
Ice cream.
But we're laughing, you know, but my fellow Jamaicans, we're serious. The level of corruption in our country, I don't know, honestly. And we sit down and accept this. In which modern democracy can this nonsense continue to happen? Huh? A prime minister went into the people's house and tell them say no bulldozer down their house.
And tell me like no to justify it. You hearing me, Jeffrey? To justify what I'm going to do or what we end up do. He tell lie about gangsters and selling plot and everything, and now he must say the stigma upon the people. Him say it in a to the cleaner. You know, and a decent people live there. Decent people. If you just call them to be a gangster and you make sure that anything happens, send like armed forces, like you invade a next country. It's so embarrassing.
But the funniest thing, you know, he will not send in the army in a Tivoli garden like that, you know.
No.
He will not send in the army in a Waterhouse.
No.
He will not send in the army where the criminals are. Where him and his 68 or 62 parliamentarians where the criminals are in this country.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Him also said that when the people must say, well, he must say, no, I want to give you, I want to, him say, I know you want your community to be developed. And that's why I want, and him said, no, we community develop already. Him said, no, I want to give you roads and sewage and water. And they must say, yeah, but we don't need that. And the question now is that, okay, make we assume same have good intentions and it come for bill and things like that. No, what got me to the people them now between now and the time them get them house there? Him put them on street. Him not make no provision for them. You see up there tell us this money and no sense. Because here's what him should do. Him should do a face building. If this is really was him intention,
No, but
him should do a face building and say, okay.
Brother again. Let me just tell you the next thing again. Now, when him at the house, me have the footage. I'm listening good. You know,
You want to share it?
I want to share it in them because if I can.
I can give you a sharing privilege.
Yeah, because if I can dry it up there, so I can dry it.
Go ahead, you're a co-host now. Share it. Make people in here where they go on.
Hold on, I see. All right, I want to share this. Hold on.
Under the original agreement that I read, Jeffrey,
Yes.
they should have built houses by the end of 2019. That's before COVID. So the fact that they didn't deliver on the homes that was supposed to come out of the 2,400 acres that was left, after them leaching, taking 3,000 acres for his agricultural development.
So-called agricultural thing.
Right. So they were supposed to deliver on homes at the end of 2019, and no homes were delivered. So which set of people is he building homes for now? All these high rises going up in Jamaica, reputed to be money laundering. And Minister Chang told us in the diaspora and would investigate it. Right? We don't hear nothing about that.
Hold on, him not investigate himself?
Well, what can I tell you? You know, maybe he was ready for a confession.
The Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice, along with the Commissioner of Police, Dwiddly Dum Dum. The dumbest of all dumbest of Commissioner of Police in the history of this country. Need to resign.
Yes. They need to resign.
Dwiddly Dum Dum need to go.
He need to move. No, well, man, we get 91%. A disapproval rating. I don't know where my wait for. And him get the biggest money, the biggest pay in the history of commissioners. That man is not a commissioner. That man don't know.
Him vex. Him vex because me call him Twiddly Dum Dum and call him Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice. Me not apologize to nobody.
Well,
Dr. Harris Chang, you hold the position as Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice. Major General Anthony Anderson, you are the dumbest of all dumbest commissioner police I've seen in the history of this country. You need to go.
You know, I don't think about this, right? I'm not struggle for come up with an answer. To think about a democratic society, right? Not a totalitarian society, a democratic society where somebody get a 91% disapproval rating, and them come and work every day like nothing happen, and everybody just accept it, and the prime minister don't say nothing. You know, oh, you want to hear something? A dear friend of mine said to me, say, 91% disapproval. Him said that's being kind to him. Him said if you want to know him true disapproval rating, do a survey. That survey in the JCF. Him said more like 98%. Him said let them do one inside, let them do one in Administration of National Security, and do one for the police, do one for the JCF, in the JCF, and you will see all the people who work for him. You will see all the. No, here's what happened now. In the FBI now, them have a survey with them do. I forget the name right now, where them get out on a regular basis. And what it is, it's the people who work for you. Them do a survey of you, right? And so what happened is that them supposed to it's used as a tool for develop your leadership skills, and it's also used as a tool for remove you. Because if you get a 91% disapproval rating, me I tell you right now, I gone, you're gone. Gone, you're gone.
Yeah.
And so now them not me find out so them not do not like that in the JCF. Them not ask the subordinates them what you think about your superiors. Right? Them not ask them, but if them ask them, me I hear say it's more like it's gonna be a 98% disapproval rating. And the man show up every day. Right? I talk like him have marble in his mouth. And him have him have at least one grandchild. Go home, man. Go home and take care of your grandpicnic and
No,
just,
if we go home and make him grandchild take care of him. Can the grandchild teach him for, put him things.
Listen, let me tell you something. My 11-year-old son, remember me did make a remark say him could have solved the crime with Donnelly. My 11-year-old son, me bet, we will put money upon this. My 11-year-old son will do a better job at running the JCF than the present police commissioner. Me sure about that. Me will put money on that.
Of course. The man don't know what I'm saying. The man just come and you hear the play something, you hear the question where Kitty asks him. And I know the man answer the question, the man going all over the place at that crap.
Before we go any further, gentlemen, there's a question in the chat room from Lisa. And I think this is going to either Mr. Rattigan or Mr. Herb. Why can't Andrew Holness and his party, in other words, be charged for international crime?
Look, here's wait, go and take out of Jamaica. Go and take somebody who's courageous. We know the DPP now go.
No man, hello. She's under the kettle by her fish. Right. By herself. She needs to go.
So them now, it'll take somebody with courage to put together the facts and bring it to some tribunal, some UN tribunal. And eventually we may end up doing something like that. We may have ended up and speared a movement like that. Because look, all you have to do with the prime minister, and not only him, but all you have to do with him and some of the politicians them, is say, okay, them talk about ill-gotten gains, right? And that you have to do a financial disclosure. You say, okay, you know what? You don't have a regular job since we know you, right? You don't have a regular job. But yet still you start out pouring up all of this money and we don't know how you come by. You have to explain it. But hear them do it. Like Buju say, make a song and say, them are the one who write the laws, because hear what them do now. Them put it, them come up, them will tell you, say, no, we have financial disclosure laws. But what them saying of the financial disclosure laws is that if you fail for file, you pay a fine, a paltry sum. And that's what them do. Them don't declare them assets and them just pay a fine.
When we are dealing with the international law, though, it come like, I think, Honduras the other day, where Honduras, one of these Central American country, the president...
Yes, he and his wife was Honduras. He and his wife was charged.
All right, so him get charged and him get extradited to US. And female wife get 55 years. They must say appeal that and she get around near 14 years or something for use up the money. Same thing like way.
Donor funds. Yeah.
Yes. So she use it by a handbag and do all kind of things. So when them ways that them step down so we can deal with them, but after that, we have to take charge and set up some things and know say, hey, we're gonna catch them people there. And when I joke, we don't know.
But the question must be asked also, the question must be asked also, why is the current Prime Minister want to pass a law in Parliament that after 70 years before anything can come out in the public?
Because he want to hide all the wrong deeds. So me just answer it quick answer. Remember when I answer like Google Gaga where him take a go on this and him the answer. Because they want to come up them criminal deeds, brother. Straight and simple. It's simple. That means everybody, even the baby, and understand that. Yeah? If a Google Gaga know, him that come with the gibberish. So they want to cover up them deeds, so they want to close up some things that were we did and put 70 years by your ear, brother. You know, so we now go there. You understand? So I just give the answer. That's why I want to do it. Him knows him now go there. So even if I say boom boom and bone right away, didn't get way. It's not gonna work. That's why that alone open up eye, for him come with that alone open up your eye and say, oh, so you want to hide some things, that's why you want to come with this with the people them not understand it. We now gonna deal with it around here. We are gonna hold you accountable. And that's how we do. Yes, man.
If you're just joining us here on a special edition of Make We Talk Sundays, we're talking about the bulldozering down of poor people home on taxpayers' property at Burnett Lodge, where the Prime Minister of this country went into the people's house and said he's going to send a demolition crew over there. And he sent members of the JDF, members of the JCF, and all sorts of bangarang went on over there. The question must be asked, how long shall a pharaoh rule over these people? How long shall a pharaoh rule over the Jamaican people? How long must the Jamaican people sit idly by and allow these politicians to sell this country out? We must ask them who they sell it to the Chinese for. They're selling off everything what we have. They're building high-rise buildings. Does the Jamaica Fire Brigade equip to outfire like them there? If they catch a fire?
No, sir. You know, sir.
Let me add one quick piece to that with the buildings will go up.
Mhm.
I have it on very reliable and good sources that some of the buildings will go up. The minister them have to get a penthouse out right, you know.
Yeah,
Before them
that's
have
true.
to-
100%. I'm not, you know, so I'm not going to call on him right now. Because a minister right now does get two.
Go ahead, man. Call him.
Well, I want to know the minister because when he does a laugh.
Then call him, man.
Well, I know when he does a laugh. When he does a laugh after who we attack. So, when he does a laugh, just like a few minutes ago. So the minister, that same guy, is a lawyer from overseas. Just now, I'm going to wait till it go up and then I can rush him harder with it. So when he does a laugh, so I know the name. Right away. At 2 enough, if you just get the paperwork. The man have been that thing. 2 apartment out of the man apartment complex. Him I forget. 2! And him get the man paperwork. So like my good friend, she called me and I said, no, me no bother because him still got you and give him. 2 him order. 2! To get the approval, the paper, them and everything approved and that's it.
We know one right now.
And let me tell you the next one now. Then what dead man too? Listen, I'm a friend them thing happen to. From up in Avondale and some other places. When him come from them people there, you know, from them Mia, him come and stop your thing. Say if you have 1 apartment or 2 female now move. When you do that, it moves. You understand? So the whole of them full of that, them full of gas station, them full of land, them full of everything. We know them. You know, and remember,
Hold on there.
Yes, man.
And did you all know that a certain government building in Hagley Park Road, where certain people it own, there's a certain minister who takes taxpayers' money and buy that property?
You see that?
Enough for him name?
Well, we have to go bust out them truth and things like that. You know? We have to go bust them out, man. We have to
No,
go
we'll bust them, man. But
and then what we can do, you know, we have the ability to do certain things on it, to find out which account where the money, the investment, all of that stuff. We can find out. And we know some of them put it in other people's name, and we know them name the too. And once we do that, then what we need to do is turn it over to the US government and say, this is what going on, you know, with the banking system. When them are doing them with the corruption and the money, the ill-gotten proceeds from the corruption, it touch the banking system and it besmirch the integrity of the banking system. So we need to do something about it. That's in addition to the donor funds. Because I know somebody right now who presently is being pressured to give up apartments in that building. And them tell them, say, nah, give up nothing. And them shut him down right now.
Because of that, them do.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something quick to this, you know. You see all this banga we're going right now? You know why them come up with a thing like this now, Radigan? Because it will draw a little attention from the 25 million US what I cook with the big boys, and them, you know. Remember, this is not the little man or what have you. These are the biggest history boss in Jamaica. In any airport.
And until now, you don't hear Gugu Gaga,
none of them.
Diga Daga,
None of them.
Dum says nothing about it.
All right. And Crab. Minister
The biggest
none of them.
cocaine boss in the history of this country.
And you,
And you don't hear the commissioner of police, nor the minister of insecurity, nor justice, or nothing, nor the prime minister.
That's why them go lick down place because them want everything turned this so now. And
Right.
so like, we got to cut the eat off our
But let me say something to you, know.
Yeah, man.
Let me warn them, you know. There's a revival song say, I'm giving you a warning. A new day is dawning.
Yes.
On top make poor people ball in Jamaica.
True.
Politicians, stop make poor Jamaicans ball. God don't like ugly. Prime Minister Andrew Holness. And my sister, the Bible said the sins of the mother and father shall fall into the third and fourth generation. Be careful what you're doing to poor people in Jamaica.
The last time a preacher got talk about that and tell him say God give him a message, them send people police see him.
Make them send them for me. Make them come.
Yeah, God. And me have forgot me have to say, listen me. When you leave the man alone, I want him to know. Say if the man say God say your first man are dead, then want him to fear and I want him to know. When you go lock up God? Because them go for the man, you know. Them go for him a sentence. You remember that preacher man, the pastor man?
Yeah, man.
Eh? Them man go
Chambers.
Chambers, one go for him, be a big gun and all kind of things. The man say,
Lock up the man.
Me have to go on bad.
Then lock up Chambers.
You know what we have to do? We have to appeal to members of the JCF and the JDF. I make them understand. Say, listen, we not do God's work. We not do lock up the preacher man there. We not assist with the demolition of poor people housing. We not abuse people. And our own people. We not do it too. We don't need to internalize. We don't need to look within ourselves and say, I'm a brother, I'm a sister, that, you know, right? And realize that them are not the enemy. Them are not the enemy. I know them make you get 70,000 Jamaican dollars a month. I know them. I know poor people, right? I know them make you not have car, gun, vest, helmet, good working conditions, no crime plan. I know them. I know them. Are the leadership. We have to appeal to them people, and when we appeal to them, they need to look within themselves and say, no, what me I do wrong. What me I do wrong, me can't take up arms. Me can't abuse my brothers and sisters for them people here. Because them people at the end of the day, them don't mean me no good either. That's what they need to understand, right? Because appealing to the people with the slight up and you know and the people who want thief, that not go nowhere. To tell themselves to stop thief and them not pay you no attention, none. So we have to appeal now to the people who are suffer as a result of that, right? And say, listen, we don't need to come to the senses. We need to realize that right now, the people who in charge are taxpayers' fund and no government fund, you know. No government fund, it's taxpayers' money. People who are,
tell them good.
yeah,
Yeah,
taxpayer, it's not government money.
yes.
We elect them to manage, be good stewards over our funds.
Thank you.
That's
And
how
we
it
let
works.
them just to manage the world country affairs.
Yes,
So not for them.
not them. Not
You
them.
understand them not own nothing the land, but they matter about government land and our land. Everything belongs to us. So you have to put out the people them out for them own land. When you say government, you're in there for 5 years after then you know you're movable. So it couldn't be you, Andrew and Yearns. It belongs to we.
But
It cannot
gentlemen,
belong to our state because the people they make up the state.
but
So our
gentlemen,
things.
gentlemen, it can't be that the alternative that Jamaicans has is the People's National Party. The time has come. Mr. Herbie, you need to come in now, you know. Are you too quiet?
I'm listening to the two experts give a real good overview here. The bottom line is this. If it's not, if Virginia, where I'm resident right now, a governor can only serve one term. In other words, the governor comes in, rearranges stuff to meet the budgetary requirements and to meet various statutory requirements. and to the satisfaction of the population. And then he moves on. He either goes after a US Senate seat, or he goes after there are 2 US Senate seats, or he goes after some congressional seat. But the governors will not spend more than 1 term. And this is what they should do in pretty much in Jamaica.
But hold on, Mr. Herb. This man come in, you know, and say, in my 100 days,
Yes, I'm saying.
I will put legislation in place for term limits and prime ministers.
Yes.
I know you not do it.
Because the job suit him.
And
The job suit him, the money.
These DB,
That's right.
these DB media houses in Jamaica who is in the back pocket of politicians, don't hold them accountable.
Nah, them a mouthpiece.
Yep.
All they do,
Yeah,
you know, is gonna read the program and talk about these wannabe journalists on YouTube and TubeTube and that the tube.
Yeah, but them are nothing. Them are nothing. When they say wanna be, them are nothing. Because them a get paid for all these kind of things. Whenever people like us, me don't know where they happen to Jamaicans. You understand? And never people can win at the diaspora too, you know. Even never the diaspora, Jamaica seen it long time. Because listen, when the tourism shut down in the pandemic, US get 3.8 billion. That's different from the money, the barrel and everything. That's just remittance money alone. So when you put it together, the amount of things and the amount of, if you put a value upon it, if you some $5.6 billion worth of things, for balance Jamaica. So the remittance, the Bank of Jamaica tell us our remittance balance the thing. Because remember, without money, you know, without the US, what we trade with, what we buy everything, we have to import things to run the country. Without that, where you think it happen? You understand? Where you think it happen? You see me, I said it bad. It's bad, man.
You know, we're trying to figure out something here. I know a person I'm trying to figure out something here. Because if we have a society where they're talking about 2030 vision, I see I have a Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to Make We Talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good. Since I see you, what is your views on what is going on in the land of wood and no water?
Okay, give me 1 second. I have to run. 1 second.
Okay, no problem. And the question must be asked of us as Jamaican citizens. We're talking and we're putting the things out there for the people to understand. But let us make something clear to our fellow Jamaicans. I personally, not a member of any political party in my country. I am a Jamaican, and Jamaica come first for me. Like what I tell some Chinese downtown Kingston one time. I come here by labor pain. You come here by aeroplane. This is my rock.
That's good. And that's
you don't speak to me that way.
Yeah, man.
So we must tell our fellow Jamaicans that the time has come that we must stop this PNP and JLP bullcrap in this country. Where we see injustice, we speak out against it.
That we need to do. Yeah?
Jamaica, all the politicians in Jamaica that go to prison is Jack Smith.
That is it. That is it. Everything else let off. See right now, cruel greed. Everything in front of him.
What is his name?
Cruel greed. Cruel man and greedy. So cruel greed. Yeah, man, you know. Everything right in front of him, right? Right in front of him. Can you imagine you use that old lady and you get a 4 million in our book. You draw how much money and you keep the book. You, your wife, and the driver will drive for you. You are paying for catering and the man have to come in at the paper and say, listen, me never get a cent. Me never get a cent for do these things. And me not involved in this. So because when the police reach a film place, police reach a the woman place too. She have to show them that she never had the card before and nothing like that. You understand? And what happened to him now? Them have a review next year. February, around the 7th of February next
Then,
year.
hold on, you know.
4 years.
Wayne,
Not a trial yet, you know. Review.
Wayne. If it was you, Rattigan, Herb Nelson, or anybody else on this Zoom link here did something like that, you think it would take so long?
They got a long time, man. You won't even get bail. You got a long time, you know. You know,
Mr.
don't
Nelson?
your short pants. You don't know your short pants, man.
Yep. There's no look, Ratty. There was a ruling I brought up earlier in 2016 and 18, under the limitations law, to where when you occupy a place for a period of time and then you build on it, the appeals court had ruled that government or whoever could not move people off the property, right? So what is the ramifications when the prime minister used his, I won't say bully pulpit, but he just become a bully, send people in and clear the place regardless of what the appeals court said back a little while back. You have any comment on that?
Well, there's something called adverse possession, right? And I
Yeah.
think it's 12 years in Jamaica. If you
12. It's 12.
yeah. If you occupy a piece of land with the knowledge of the owner and they call it open hostile possession, that everybody knows that you did it and things like that, and you pay the taxes and things, then you can file for a title. You can get a title.
Yes.
If it's crown lands, it's 60 years. So the thing about it is that what we want to know is how long them people and them generation occupied a piece of property there. Because
Right.
if it's more than 60 years, then they would have a claim for adverse possession. But even putting the legal aspect of that aside, Lonesome, I agree with you 100%. This is a deflection. Because the reason why this is a deflection, if him did really intend to take care of them poor people, there are other ways him could have go about it.
Yes.
There are ways him could have go about it and it, we talk from a humanitarian perspective.
Yes.
Right? Have a heart, man. You say you come from Jamaica and you're born a Spanish town and this and that and that. But you treat people like say Mars you come from a different planet.
Yeah.
You know? And so you don't care about them. Have a heart. Look what the poor woman. I see people are crying. It bleed, man. When we watch a thing, man.
Brother, people cry, man. People, it hurt people.
Yeah.
I have people who vote for the man, them come and tell him, them talk to him. Them I try to show him. Say, listen, the people them just wake up to what me I say. Me I try to show them say we are Jamaican. Yeah, Jamaican first. No make the politician trick you know. We have a little race. The whole of our friend, we know that. So when the race done, we are talking about government of Jamaica. It can't be a government for JLP, a government for PNP. No, you're a government of Jamaica for who vote and who not vote. You understand whether you vote for JLP, PNP, and OP? You still have used the tax money. So you have some people say, but you never vote, but you still, the money where you work, you pay more tax than even with them even not think of. You see me I say? So you can't just spend my tax money where you want to spend it. You can't have my tax money and do all kind of things. You can't have the land where belongs to Jamaicans, and then you give to some rich friend, and you want we to come work for them. We don't want to create more entrepreneurs. Can you imagine USA that do the same thing? Then you have a man that one named Amazon. We start out in little garage and get richer than the whole state of Jamaica in space and no time. We have value. We have whole company value. And the amount of people him employ. You understand what I say? You get a chance in these first world country to set up your thing and grow. In a Jamaica now, from you down here, so they want to step in your neck. And the man, they more rich. Them take your things and give them. We don't have no more plane. Remember, we don't have train. We see them put one in a Jamaica color. It look insipid and look so bad. I mean, the locomotive, they're older than anything else so you can't think of. You don't think Jamaica that did advance by this, right? The little ferry used to run, we don't have it again. You know, like you go downtown and you go across a port and go look and get the house and do your thing. It not there. It don't make no sense, brother. So the country going down and them. Always I tell you, we grow and we're going to turn first world country in 2030. It cannot happen, brother. Stop
well, Wayne, we have a GG, you know. All him just go around and yam. And that is his favorite song is 2030 Vision. All them just go around and yam.
Hey, at the rate of go, it will be just that, a vision. It won't be a reality.
Yes.
It will be a vision, you know. Somebody drink some rum or whatever, and them have a bad nightmare, vision or whatever, and all that. It 2030 now happen. Not at the rate them go right now.
Brother.
2030 now happen.
But them can't even get the hospital right. We have never hospital right now, but we have you have the road, but you don't have a burnt unit. Must have one up a UE. Which part the other one there? You can't have them places, you have them ICU, you have come on now.
No, hold on.
Eh?
You're the biggest trick now. Them couldn't afford to provide good working conditions for the nurses. Them couldn't afford to pay them. Them couldn't afford to give them benefits. So the nurses them left for greener pastures. And then here what them do now. Here where the minister
Tough stand.
yeah, him come America, I think Florida and Georgia. And guess where him come and say, Mado? He might recruit the nurse them to come back home. How much of them sign up for that program there?
Nobody has signed up.
I visit them, come visit people, man. Him come check him friend them and things like
We have
that.
some money, and our taxpayers' money that to afford it.
Exactly, taxpayers' money. Taxpayers'
You know,
money.
some gentlemen, you know what I realize is going on? They squander, they blunder poor people money a lot. We have a female on the Zoom here with us. I need to hear Michelle's views on what is going on about the Burnett Lodge land of the dictator. The dictator sent Twiddly Dum Dum.
Nah laugh.
I need to familiarize myself with that story. I really can't make a comment. I have to familiarize myself with that.
Okay,
Well, we can't tell you what happened.
Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rattigan.
A statement was made in Parliament that the gangsters were living in this particular part of St. Catherine, and that they called the people them squatters and said and the day before the demolition, no advance notice, no preparations for these folks. The day after the statement was made in Parliament, the authorities turned up and they leveled that community. Leveled it, and now they have no place to put those people, and they come up with all kinds of excuses now, saying that they're gonna build 15,000 houses, it's gonna be better, and they're gonna get they can apply for a mortgage and all of this nonsense. People can't see right through that story, right? So the question I think Jeff is putting to you is, what is your view on the government coming into a community? Don't make any preparations when you displace it, and then you just flatten the place. And then the day after you flatten it, you come and say, oh, I'm gonna give you a better community, and I'm gonna give you sewer system and roads and water and electricity, and you're gonna get a mortgage. And them people don't qualify for no mortgage.
And Brother Gan,
people them a hustle.
Brother Gan,
So that, yes, sir.
Brother Gan, remember, the 15,000 houses are between 5 to 8 years. So you
Yeah.
can, because 5 to 8 years. I remember, at some people, you must say, like some other company, where they might divest the land to where they might build it, but they might oversee it, and other people are come on board. So that's not even ready yet. We're
Hold on there.
5 to
Hold on
8
there.
years.
Hold on
5
there.
to 8 years, you might talk about.
Hold on there. Before Michelle answer the question,
Mm-hmm.
do you know how long those people are on that land?
Them, all right. So someone talked to me who live over there. Them more than 15 years.
Yeah, they're more than a
Okay.
decade.
So what I want to know, since criminals live over there, according to the world-class prime minister,
Mm-hmm.
the Caribbean best prime minister, the Iron Man of the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
the dictator of the Caribbean, since him said that there was criminals living over there, and nobody else can come out and say there's only criminal living over there, but only him know.
Him come and correct that now, yes, in a Friday, Him come and say decent people live there.
So why level it then?
So it comes if you look at it in the clean and I must say,
Yeah, so
and the stigma. Him put the stigma on it. Because him say intelligence and him have Jew
Right.
and him tell us that.
yeah,
Him get
the
it from
basis,
Bushwhacker
That was it.
and
That
the
was the trigger to go in there and destroy.
that is the
the
trigger. That mean him lie. You know, when you tell lie in
Yeah.
the parliament, no, that man should have moved, you know. This coming like when those say him not do nothing but him sanction man at 12th and Philip. You know, them like do the lie thing there, him don't know nothing. And then him come. And when they come trigger something and don't answer decent people. Remember police and soldiers live over there, you know, and teacher, you know. Yes, still a gangster live there. Now you talk about the stigma and you go in the paper and you put it in the paper. Come on,
at the
man.
same lie, them get caught, and we not go ease up that one. The same lie come in and get caught, you know. When
Same
when
lie
you
get
tell
right.
Finn say, when Finn
Yes.
say a sheet, them represent in a personal capacity, and then Robert Nesta Morgan come on and say, we don't know nothing about that, you know, that are between a private entity in Jamaica and a private entity in America. And right.
Yeah, this are the lie.
Them tell, but you know what? This is a new day, because years ago them could have tell a lie and nobody not ask no question.
Well,
Now you have some renegade Jamaicans now.
But are we the man look for now, you know?
Yeah.
Well, like
some
we know.
renegade, have some renegade Jamaicans now.
There are some man say, boy, I want some you, but if you could have do something else, because boy, you depend them on one list. Okay. Yeah, when I to buy some America, the man produce some of the big man too, you know. But
they
no, some
don't
giant, so then nobody will put me.
No, that's what I say. Now you have some renegade Jamaicans out there, and so four of them are now tonight, right?
Good.
And so what happens is that where we are hope is that we inspire other people similarly situated to come out and talk. Them afraid of that, you know, because we are very dangerous to them. Because we are waiting public psyche. What we are doing is open up people. We are take off the scales off of people's eyes so that people can see the naked truth. And when people see the naked truth, that's dangerous for this government, yeah, because people are going to turn away from them. People not going to support them no more. And you know, and the whole thing about this is power. That is the whole thing about this. Power. And them say, power, what got all this saying power rules and absolute power rules.
Yeah, well, power corrupts.
Power corrupts and absolute.
And absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
Is that's where it come down to, you know, power. Because look how the man talk to people. Look how the man talk to people. Him talk to people like say, the man gardener. I saw him talk to people, you know.
Hold on. You remember
arrogance?
Hold on. The arrogance. You remember in our speech when them go build the house, right? And him depend podium and I say, poor people if you have them big castle and big him answer, oh, you build the thing and why you send the money and everything. You see when him now the parliament the other day, he must show him now. Look on the big house, them they're not poor people. So I say, okay. So it's a poor people if you have big things, big house. But you have said them they're not poor people, look on the house them. And a poor people, but you
look on female
time. So you say not poor people. That means poor people must have nothing. That means when that talk is a Joe set speed.
Listen,
yes, man.
I have one question for you, now. One question I have for you. I mean, I have one for the gentleman that you and Jeffrey have two names for.
Hello, calling name, twin the damn.
Yeah. But you know, I have one question for the Prime Minister, and this question I'm going to ask him is that, Mr. Prime Minister, have you ever participated in, or are you aware of any form of corruption in your government, and what have you done?
Him say it when them a swear me in a 2020, when I say the corruption and that, but him not do nothing. The man and there still this time him not do nothing and the arrogance, and then him come with it himself.
Yeah, but the question I ask, the question I ask him, you know, me ask him if him himself, that's what him say, you know, be truthful to the Jamaican people, right, and to the world. Tell us if you have ever participated in, or you have any knowledge.
Hold on a minute there now. You hold on a minute. You are a former FBI agent.
You know I'm gonna lie.
Okay.
You know I'm gonna lie. You know I'm gonna lie. Him have to say, no, I'm not aware.
That's why we crown him the line minister. The worst prime minister ever in the history of humankind, not just Jamaica. But you can't pick out no huge prime minister. Where you pick out in the world, nobody no worse than this man. And the worst prime minister may ever see, the liarest man will ever walk the earth of this man. Him tell you one thing and him flip-flop. For you a man tell lie for him great grandmother and him mother. You can't trust him, brother. You can't trust him.
He flop, he flip, he flip, he flop. Pathologically mendacious.
It's a get out of control now, man. I mean, when you look, and you can't see the transformation, you know. You can't see the transformation over the years. When him come in and he was forthright and seemingly honest and humble in his tone. And you listen to him now, and he's a completely different person.
Yeah.
Somebody will boost him up. Somebody will boost him up.
Ubu Gaga and the big boys. Because him take the land and give to the big boy. May I say, oh, you're going leech in the land. Figure plant. Well, no pass this. Him say, well, him move the house them to, you know, him want to plant tomato and pepper. Tomato and pepper. So tomato and pepper after you have 3,000 acres. Take it off for the one where you're leeching and plant the tomato and pepper then.
But hold on there. Hold on.
Pepper, yeah. See pepper, yeah.
He knows.
Yeah, man.
Hold on there. But wasn't he, hello, in his speech to Parliament on Wednesday, you know, and whenever it was, he said that developers are standing by to develop the land. So which people are you talking about?
And that piece of land, and another piece of land.
He did not say farmers, you know.
All right, and him comes a farmer. But tomato and pepper, you know, destroy somebody who wants tomato and pepper. We can't plant it in my backyard. Yeah, farmers right now. Yeah, farmers, we can show you in a 2021 when they are wait for him. When we move from up there and carry them down to more the start where they want to call it, carry them down more in a little place where people in my farm. Tomato, pepper, and a beer dust newsstand. No water, nothing. And the people them are complaining. I can show you that. You understand? The man
I have something to show you now.
Yes.
Where he and the former Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice,
yes,
Dr. David Peter Phillips, was throwing blow at each other. Here it goes.
We find the evidence that what we have today in Jamaica is the most corrupt administration that has ever held office in the history of our country since independence.
What is this man talking about? Well, make me make the statement, backed up by facts, that the PNP is the most corrupt political organization in the Caribbean. If you go back to 1989, which is a long time ago, you would hear about the Rollins land deal scandal.
Police use car scandal.
If you go back to 1990, you remember the zinc scandal after Hurricane Gilbert.
FLA scandal.
You have the furniture scandal. Then you have the Shell waiver scandal.
$8 million food bill scandal.
Then you have a big scandal in 1992 over the illegal importation of motor vehicles.
Shut your mouth because you're in a hit too. You do it too.
Right now, hold on, I move that here. So right now, let me tell you something where we want the panel to know. So Vals, you see when you calculate import vehicle, right? So them put on a thing where them of the company where they make more than like 500-600 million a year or fight, right? You them do it now. You have to import the car, but them put a thing where them say them have to examine your car for almost $250 US, you know. Yeah, you buy it from Japan and thing, you know, 250 US. Them not examine nothing, you know, brother. So you say the amount of 10,000 vehicle come in, used vehicle come in for the year, you multiply how much money them make. Just half of the back. Half of them, you know, go straight to them pocket. That's a criminality.
Oh,
yeah, man.
Man, buy US dollar out of the back of them car all over. Big scandal.
$9 million travel scandal at TPD. The government have more scandal in it than Riverton City have scandal back.
You hear about the corrupt distribution of land in Holland. You hear about the Operation Pride scandal. Then in 1997, you have the FinSac scandal.
And then we have the super scandal, the Petrogen scandal. That one have everything in it.
And then now you have the mother of all scandal, the traffic guru scandal. You remember that?
Friends of the government collecting money for travel, but not traveling.
The Montego Bay street people scandal. The fat cat salary scandal. You remember NetServe? Yes.
Friends of the government getting jobs at 3 times the pay that the previous occupants of the job had. While at the same time, long-serving, loyal, patriotic civil servants being fired from jobs.
Then you have the Sandals White House scandal. Then now, after that, you come up with the Cuban light bulb scandal. You remember that? You have the Hanover Parish Council scandal.
Friends of the government and activists for the JLP getting jobs in organizations for which they don't have qualifications.
Then you have the Chick V scandal. Then you have the dead baby scandal. Then you have the bad gas scandal. Then you have now the parish council in a Manchester scandal.
Friends being awarded contracts by breaking the procurement rules, and some of those friends are the same people that turn up in the bushing scandal.
You remember Outer Many scandal? You remember EWI energy scandal?
Never in our history have we heard of a government entering into verbal contracts. No paper, no sign. Just word of mouth. $23 million. What madness is this going on in our country, Master?
You can't cuss me when you corrupt.
Thank God for the opposition in Parliament. Thank God for the PAAC and the PNP members and the PAAC.
You know, let me say something here. I do not believe that the two political parties should sit on the PAC committee. I do not believe in that. And when you check the history of corruption in this country, the two political parties no better barrel, no better herring. And if we should check the amount of money that they rob from the poor people in this country, Ono said it could have paid off Jamaica's national debt. And it could have built up a house.
We wouldn't have the national debt. We wouldn't have it in the first place. So I developed the national debt in about.
Hold on. You know what's interesting in that piece you just played, Jeffrey? I need a copy of that. You know what's interesting about that? Scandals on both sides. And ask yourself the question, how many persons ended up going to prison?
There you go.
No, but no, that. Let me tell you again now. Some of them, when them say a scandal, because I know about them too, you know. I'm a dissect it, because you know my plate, I'm a dissect it. So when you say Chick V scandal and dead baby, him just drop in some things, and if you don't know these things, these are just, you know, it draw you away. But you have real scandal like some people get paid for the job, but them not doing it, do not right now. That's why I rush TTA, because the man them must sell lice, they must sell acne cabbage lice 600,000 for something for $80,000. So you know, and you know who it a go to.
Right.
Again tie. You understand in a St. Mary? Yeah? So it a go to them and them friend and them things. So you know why the scandal and when the scandal. Okay. So traffic guru scandal, the traffic guru scandal, that scandal, that done. Him says a scandal, you know. But where the scandal there, Jeffrey? No company, Grace Kennedy, everybody give money. All in the diaspora, but traffic guru a lift aisle from Netherlands. For them governments, listen, don't give no political party no donation. Remember, you can donate, you know, but this is for them rule. So you come here donate something to a political party, and so over do it for ads and them give you back the money. Him call it a scandal. No, you
hold on a
well, I remember finish it now. So when you do that and you make our people them to come and say, okay, we'll subject them to go to court with the DPP because you want to prove the Jamaica say it was a mother false scandal. And when them go there, them you say, okay, it was that and that. You know what happened? Traffic guru are gonna get charged if them find out, say, okay, you donate to whether you donate to the PMP or JLP, right? You shouldn't donate to no political party, so we're going to charge you 20 million or 30 million euro, or 10 million euro. But you see the scandal no matter about like the phone scandal, you use it for 1 month and $8 million dollars. You chop bush with $1 billion in 2 weeks. You understand? This come out of the copper. This is our taxpayers' money now. See, let me tell you this. Grace Kennedy give them money, then put them turn man from Grace Kennedy, put him in the upper house. Him turn in a senators.
Yes, I mean, Senator Dan Webby.
Good. So these are the things that them use and just say, all right, shall we ever again now? You just say shall we ever is a scandal when them get the 40 million scandal waivers. Okay. Now, here in 2019, Grace Kennedy said them 2019 or 2020, they make 98 billion profit and them get from the government right now 500 million waivers. You so much time that over shall I bet they give poor people are selling some things and I buy and sell some things, they give them the waiver. Where I give Grace Kennedy that waiver with a man like that sit down in a the way you call that? Eh? Remember them not lose nothing, you know. You make 98 billion in a profit in a brother and still get $500 million waiver. When you are carrying a car or carrying something, you not get a waiver from them. People me know people are carrying ambulance. Remember bedroom we're working at the aisle thing there. Down in Texas are carrying ambulance to give them 30,000. Him have to pay 30,000 US security. And the hospital them give you know. You know we have that answer no because them give you free. No, but you can't give Dan Webby them will run that. We are senator, you give him 500 million waivers. You know, you understand what I'm talking about? Eh? And you just tell me about Shell waiver scandal. We're not stupid. We know what is scandal from no scandal. So when I call, so well I know if the chick be baby and them scandal. When I call the 3,000 people are dead now over the angling at the pandemic just now. Can you shut it down and some people go back in a Europe and ship and people lose all them baby. Now you open the door back for the tourism and make sure and call election. And call enough old people and everybody to catch this thing and dead. So what you call that? Eh? You understand what I say? So this guy, all it is, so I say, it's a dangerous guy, you know. Come sit down and study OM do, and then think something, but you have to listen and you have to know where the root come from and know, say, okay, but this way you talk about, okay. And if you finish the tape, you might say, crack us back. Well, you know, everything, you know, we have good and bad, and yeah, people are use this. I mean, I said no, but we deal with everything from it come out it bad. I know cruel greed no get deal with, and you understand? Don't a picture them a 500 million barrel of oil in a better value $5 billion. I know it not get deal with. See? Then you have woman that work down that get 13 million, but she don't know what they work for true. I one of them woman, by the way. Same like a market me get 85 million. You know, see what them are going with. So these are the things that I tell you. Some things that them compare, don't draw we out and try going away head like an idiot. We can't sieve them out. You understand? So we know what that scandal
there's no comparison when you compare the big money that the jail is ripping off to the little trash money. As to call it little trash, but it's still money, right?
Yes. But what them do is compare some things and call out some things, but they move some big money to the aisle. I know nobody no way.
But the oil got cashed out. The oil got cashed out in Mexico City.
But here this better.
The proceeds
hold on.
St. Lucia.
All right, but here this not better. Hold on, Jeffrey. Hold on. But don't leave the aisle yet. You know, so them they send diver. Them send soldier diver and feel the pipe if it a leak. Now, if you have 500 million barrel of oil a leak in our harbor, international people have to come here to clean up the spill.
That's right.
It
will ruin tourism.
Brother, and
the oil leak all the way to Mexico City alone. That's where the oil end up.
The man them dangerous, brother. So when we hear them attack, no, we know them dangerous, and them are for the big boys. Remember them are for the big boys. You know, and I like them spit out something and say, okay, them people are what? No, I for the rich man them. Because when them doing all right, the man them a sell thing. You remember when Darrell Vaza sell some property, him that sell it for most 8 million and thing, it valued like 20. And then
the Sentan property. The Sentan property.
Good. So it value 20, but when they do, when you give for 8 or 7 million, you know, so you say a 20 value, you know, so give me, you owe me a 10 out of that and you keep a 3, you know, we have to go shave up the 3, the boys there. So you give them for a 7 million or something, and then you go collect back door. You know, I'll be at that, you know, so that's some
there you go.
You say some private them, brother. So me not listen to them, me know how to put them thing because what them do is come and make noise. But you have to cut through the noise.
But gentlemen, let me say this. In February of this year, Minister Vaz said the development out in what the place name? Bernard Lodge. It says it will affect approximately 106 leases and 55 informal settlers who occupy a total of 1,782.365 acres, but pointed out that all affected persons will be compensated or relocated. That is from the conference he arranged in the negotiation back in February 2022. So the question is, gentlemen, if they knew 55 people would be affected, what did they try to negotiate with those people or tell them that they'll be compensated and relocated? Where's the compensation and where's the relocation today? That's the question that we need to ask Darrell Vaz to answer, right? His name keep popping up in all of these activities. And it's funny how he is the negotiator behind this deal. And
that's not in his ministry.
Yeah. And when things go bad, him disappear. And here comes Brogard coming in, stepping in, as you know, to command the situation and command the police to come fix what gone by the morning. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
You know, going back to the agriculture piece at Bernard Lodge, because it's probably them to the most arable land in all of Jamaica, that sugarcane plantation in St. Catherine. I'm looking at the strategic goals for Jamaica, the strategic security goals for Jamaica. And this is coming straight out of the national security policy for Jamaica. I know what's not here. Maybe they change it now, but you know what's not in the I have the documents. I have the documents right. It's a great part, yeah? A great part of the part where tell you about the strategic goals. You know what's not here? Food security.
Yeah.
Food security is not here. They have every other kind of security, but food security is not here. So what I tell you, that tells them agriculture is not a priority.
Yeah,
so when them take agricultural land and put houses on it, that is in sync with this, with the national security policy. Well, right? I wish Jamaica could have get a copy of this document and read through it and understand where Jamaica national security policy, how it's conceived and how it will be implemented. Because this now have nothing really to do with them. Because this document here, if somebody should have read this and go point by point and ask the Jamaican government about this, they would all have to, in public, they would all have to go hang them head in shame.
It's the same way, Mr. Rattigan. In order for them to get donor funds, they have to write a booklet. Oh, there you go.
Peter.
And nothing that they have written in those documents to get the donor fund, not one single thing has been implemented.
No.
Look, let JCF get money from the EU, the UN, them get assistance, I should say, right? Because it can be either money and or equipment, right? From EU, UK, Japan, Nigeria, Germany,
Canada.
Canada, and China,
And Israel too.
and the US, right? And with everything that them get, keep in mind that we're not talking about a police service like South Africa. When we needed it, it was almost 100,000 people in there. You know? Jamaica's police constabulary force has, as of today, about approximately 12,000 people.
Yeah, 12,000, yes.
Right, 12. And me here, that gentleman that both of you described, me hear that gentleman come on Cliff Hughes, I say he needs 16,000 to be effective, right? He have 12,000. No, you cannot tell me say all of the assistance we them get from all of them organizations, all of them countries that couldn't filter down and assist the police to do them work. You can't tell me that. Can't tell me that. So the question then is where oh, and by the way, don't forget that last year, February, Minister Chang stood up and said that he has 1.2 billion with a B US dollars to spend on the security architecture of Jamaica. And that he started back in 2016, 2017.
Mr. Rattigan, you wasn't here properly. Mr. Rattigan.
Where's the money?
Hold on a minute.
76
Where money?
And that
Hold on there, Mr. Rattigan and Mr. Lonesome. Rattigan wasn't hearing properly. The Minister of National Security will never say a thing like that, man. Come on now, man.
Yeah,
You didn't hear properly at all. It's a million. It's a billion. It's a million.
No,
it's a million.
176 billion. The man.
No, listen to me. I am just paying.
I joke, man.
Because I want on Vatican. No, man, you're right. This now, when you convert it, you know, it's 176 billion in a Jamaican, so it's 1.8 billion US. You understand? So you're right. You're right. You understand? 170, and then the Prime Minister boasts all the while. I spend the most money, pan. Them send me to have a crime plan, but I spend the most money. But for the what?
People dying like Blackbird. Anyway, there's a question in the chat.
Where crime plan there?
Hold on. There's a question in the chat for either Mr. Herb or Sir Rattigan. Can someone, Lisa is asking the question, can someone tell me who is the actual owner of SCJ company that Andrew said owns the land?
CSJ is our company. It's a part of the government. Let me just answer it again. It's Sugar Company of Jamaica, which are the same company, our land. At the government land, that means it's our land. So it's STJ holding, is Sugar Company of Jamaica holding, right? So them put this guy there where him same man the chairman of a TA, you know, Transport Authority, you know. No, that's why if you know, you know.
Hold on.
Well,
hold on a minute.
I don't want to bust the big one there yet. I don't want to bust it. Boss. But I ain't say man the chairman, man, with the corruption I want to, man. So, but me not ready for boss. Me a boss.
Hold on a minute.
Man.
You remember back in the People's National Party administration in the 1990s? One man did there, you know. Him a chairman for every almighty God board known in Jamaica.
Same thing now.
And him, hello, that man had proud until he park out the gate.
Yes. So even Danville Walker the other day, in a convicted Danville Walker, I'm just not the house in a PSC something, where him a chairman for something where him a chat with me and someone on. What him a doing so? These people, people leave university, can't get work on them things. Them man are on 20 board and 30 board. Them a chairman, them a this. You can't do so much work, you get money where, hey, this will stop doing in Jamaica, you know. It's impossible.
And that is why, before we go any further, welcome to all our listeners and all our viewers. This is Make We Talk special edition here. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have with me Wilfred Rattigan, former FBI agent, Herb Nelson Jr., chairman for the Crime Prevention Committee of the Caribbean, Wayne Lonesome, a record producer and a journalist in his own right.
Renegade.
We're speaking for the justice of Jamaicans, for the voiceless Jamaicans who can hardly speak for themselves. We have a prime minister who went and bulldozed down people's houses of a taxpayer's property, crown lands, to sell it to his cronies. We need to know from the government how much land is being sold to an individual who have property at Portland, and who flew into a private jet from Jamaica to England to the Queen's funeral. Who paid for it?
Well, Andy, before you go no further, see thing, huh? See there? It dated February 4th, 2021. It says government is projecting to spend up to 1.2 billion US dollars. And that's the equivalent of 176 billion Jamaican dollars.
Thank you. Me
To
tell you,
fight
man,
crime
right,
under
man,
Plan
yes.
Secure Jamaica over 7 years between 2016 and
Yes.
2023, according to National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang. See that?
Yes, and it involves over. Yes, man, you have it. Me tell you,
Hold on there.
1.6 billion.
Hold on there. Mr. Rattigan. Mr. Rattigan, don't put it down. Don't put it down. Take it back up. Take it back up, please. Take it
Yeah,
back
man,
up.
it, man, 176 billion. Me tell you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I'm right. I'm right.
Yeah,
But hold on a minute. I want you to read it again for me, please, sir.
Okay.
Please
It
read
says-
it again.
The headline, it says, and this is dated February 4th, 2021. And it
Good.
says, government is projecting to spend up to 1.2 billion US dollars. The equivalent in Jamaican is 176 billion Jamaican dollars
Good.
to fight crime under Plan Secure Jamaica over 7 years between 2016 and 2023, according to National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang.
That means most of them
Hold
want to
hold on, Mr. Hold on, Mr. Lonesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a minute. We don't make a talk. So tell me something now. You get donor funds and a taxpayers' money, that you know. A donor funds money that. How much you say? How much?
176
See another one,
billion
see another
dollars.
one, see another one. It's Jamaica National Security Plan projected to cost 176 billion to implement.
Okay.
And here's the other one, say multi-billion-dollar crime fight. Government bullish on Plan Secure Jamaica. Ask them about Plan Secure. Ask them if that are the crime plan. Ask them where the money gone.
But yeah, this again, no better.
Hold on. That's a question I want to ask now. No make it talk, you know. No make it talk. Give me a minute. The question I want to ask then, if you have so much money to spend on the JCF, why members of the JCF now have no uniform? They don't have no gun. They don't have no bulletproof vest. Why are they paid only $70,000 a month?
So,
Wicked Harris Chang.
Well, I'm gonna give you something now. Remember that's
They have a plan, yeah. See a plan, yeah. If them use a plan, yeah, them stop crime, might not cause them nothing.
But let me show you
Yeah.
something. No, but this again, distraction again, distraction. Because if you just get up and want to build back the infrastructure and you could have create job and uplift the people them, we just even 40 billion out of that right now, brother. Fix the infrastructure, either create jobs and the money that's surround and that grow the economy. Like me I tell brother, you 40 billion out of that. You don't even have to use so much to start. You just repair back enough of them road there and fix up some things, create some job, and it help grow the economy. But you see where you want to fight with $100 billion that we have. Then them tell the next lie again. Say I'm gonna build 70,000 houses solution in 5 years. Now, listen. If you're gonna build 70,000 houses solution, that means 14,000 per year. 14 times 5 years, 70,000, right? 14,000. How much per year in bill? Right now for the year start, how much in bill? Him don't even build 2,000. 2,000 not gonna yet, brother. Yeah? But you put that and say that can build that. How much money that costs? That costs more than $100 billion for build that. Yeah? And then who are buy it by anyway. If you don't have no work on them thing there. You know, see them depend on prediction, brother. And it does more talk and gassing. Them need to stop this foolishness. By the way, if you say the pandemic slow it up, that means if it's slowed up for 2 years, you have to add the 28,000 for the 2 years in the 14 years. So now you have to build 33,333 houses solution each year for make up. You understand? How much bill out of 1 year?
Well, no, and another thing, don't make them tell you about pandemic slow down this and so on. Them
It can't
get money for
slow down,
pandemic. Them get money for pandemic.
That is it. But me know that. But
Where the money
I
there?
said,
Where the
no,
money
them-
there?
Where the 3
Where the money there?
where the 31 million where them just get US. That a 4 point at nearly 5 million.
Wait there.
Them
Wait
just
there.
get from
Well,
the US.
at least 2 times they came up here to the US,
Yes.
right, Babsy, and campaigned for the diaspora to give donor funds to help Jamaica through the pandemic. And they
Where
got
the
a
money
lot
there?
of money.
Where
So
money there?
the people don't know where that money is either.
Plus the diaspora give them money. And,
Yep.
and give them money and give them equipment.
$1 billion
assistance.
extra, 1 billion extra over the 2.3 billion we normally give every year. We gave 3.3 billion last year.
Where
And,
money there?
and nobody know where the money is.
Oh, by the way, never a story never a dear friend of mine who had a container load of medical equipment and other things. And him force him in a drum, him try give to them and eventually them take it. And it was supposed to go to a certain home or whatever. And the man informed me last month that him go down there and him look. The people them call him and tell them say they don't get the things we him send. And then him reach out to the minister and some other people in the ministry. Him so when him go down there, not even a pin reach at the place where him send the thing go. And when him get for find out say, them sell it. Them sell all of the stuff when them send down there. Them sell all of it.
Yes. All right. So when you go to the hospital now, right? If you get broken bone and them thing, the same doctor them will get paid in the public hospital, them working in the private too. If you want an X-ray like a CT scan or anything like that, you have to go outside go do that. $60,000-$80,000. If you not do it, them not operate on you. If you not buy the pin from them for your broken bone, them not operate on you.
You know what? You're right. No, you're right, because you know what? Never a friend of mine who actually asked me for buy some pins like what you're talking about. To send go to Jamaica so they could operate. You're right. You're right.
You have to pay this thing them are going with better. And they still the budget, the health budget, how much? Billions. And you say, but not even medication the people them have. Them people, them have to beg, them have to do all kind of things. Them just lie down on a little dirty bed with all kind of things in it and nothing. It can't work no more.
I have with me this evening chairman of the Center Mass Crime Prevention Unit, and also the great-great-grandson of Paul Bogle. We have really a rebellion in Jamaica. Come on, Paul Bogle, talk.
There.
Good night, gentlemen.
Where you say, Marcel?
They are my brother. I was gonna be silent all night, but boy, me have to talk. My apologies for being late, but just about 2 months ago, someone asked me to go by the Princess Margaret Hospital to get a date to do some blood work that the hospital ordered. You know what date them give me?
Next year.
2023. Yeah. I think we say February.
That time the person born white.
Exactly. and then I heard one of them was my sister and one was a church sister and one was my adopted son. At 3 cases I know. And then I started to make a check. Is everybody they giving that date? You know why? They don't want to do it. So they give it a long date, so you go to the private system.
And then them go in the private system and make money off of it. Them are criminal too, you know.
Not only that, a lot of the doctors are using the government facility to do operations.
I know.
And charging you some big money.
I know.
There was a particular doctor here, big boy, big name behind him, and he did a procedure for a lady, and the thing came out. I think he must do it for, was it 300,000 for the procedure? And the thing came out. And I 80-something thousand, I put it in back. No, for me, I input it in and it come out. You want 80,000 put it in back? Is a doctor tell me the story, you know? The doctor
you should get a lawsuit.
That me know.
Yes.
But they say the people are subjected to this kind of extortion.
And who's protecting them at the Ministry of Health?
Exactly. No.
You are extortionist too.
Let me say something, and I hope I don't get in trouble for it. But you know, the bloodline may come from, we not care.
Okay.
You know, it's a kind of a thing.
Paul Bogle, talk up the things, then, man.
It's a hell of a thing when a street boy or a slave become a house slave or become the master's assistant. They tend to forget where they're coming from and forget what they came up through. I am a supporter of the small man rising to a top position. I'm a supporter of the underdog. Yes. I'm a supporter of young taking over the reins of any organization. But when they forget where they're coming from, I have a problem. And you must know who I talk.
You know, we don't know who you talk.
You go to know, Jeff. You see, they have given him a name, but I change it because I will not blaspheme. You know, in can't be bro, whatever.
We attack the devil, bro devil.
He must be the bro frog.
Bro devil.
A bro frog, me call him a bro frog.
Oh, bro frog. I blow devil, you know. I blow devil. Line minister.
You know,
yeah, man.
I heard a story from somebody that grew up with him in Spanish Town. And the man started the conversation by saying that his mother is not a household helper because that will require a degree, because a degree position. He said the mother used to go from gate to gate and knock and ask who want clothes to wash, and should have the little boy behind her.
So who is the little boy?
Bro Fraud, man. Bro Fraud was a little boy. And him said he saw him, you know, through the years he would see him and them used to call him one name. I don't remember the name, so I don't want to say. And he said he went to a conference and him passed him on the step like he never see him, and he called him and said, yo, so and so. And he look around at the guy with that disdain look like he was trash and garbage. And you know, when I heard that story, it really resonated in my spirit. It bothered me to see a man forget his humble upbringing. And when a man start to act like him not come from small upbringing or, you know, a poor background, we have a problem. And I don't know if you realize something, that his complexion has changed since he has been prime minister.
In the bleach.
You know, they always have a saying in America, and Rattigan and Wilfred and yes, you know that recognize it. It's what you call a roast breadfruit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Black outside but white inside.
Inside, yeah, me know.
Yeah, and I'm really saddened. You know, I was really cheering for him and I was expecting a lot of greatness. But all I see is a PR machinery from his office right to every ministry. It's just PR. And there's
no lip service.
Yes.
Not real service, lip service.
Yes, and yes, you know, it's just a wanton waste of.
And they might use their lip for you, you know.
It's a wanton waste of funds that could have been spent to empower the people of Jamaica. I remember I brought an investor here from Canada, and we had a housing solution. Could build the houses in 2 weeks, and whatever waste that is left back can fit in our car truck, and you would get all your stainless steel appliances with it. You know, on the solar grid, that kind of stuff, fireproof, hurricane-proof, earthquake-proof. Not proof, but, you know, so would stand a major hurricane or earthquake. And all we met upon was roadblocks, red tape. And when I see certain people come here and, them just fly through and them launch over, nobody heard about Elon Musk until it's announced. Nobody.
And that is disrespect to Jamaican people. Because if you're working for the people of Jamaica, remember they not work for themselves, you know. But it's like the small man, them take you and put you one side like you know nobody.
But
this need to stop, brother.
But Lonesome, why you not fail to understand? You don't see what's going on in Jamaica?
We see it, man.
Pharaoh! Let my people go!
I want to finish another point.
Let them go away. Let them go away.
I want to finish one more point and shut up. I brought another investor to to mine Jamaican gold. I'm not talking about the green gold, I'm not talking about gold.
Yes.
And it was his platform they were going to use to set up the whole cannabis industry.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to donate 100 million US dollars every year to education and health. He wanted to also change the housing solution for the underprivileged and, where everybody in a decent housing space. Because he had the same housing technology. And he also wanted to set up a funding where there's some stipend where every Jamaican gonna get that. I said to him, no, give it to the PAD program and the pension plan and all of that. And he liked that idea, and he was gonna go with it. Also, we had come up with a first responder program to train taxi and busmen and fishermen to be.
Somebody thief you from you.
Yes. Yeah, man. 5 million and collect from our insurance company, and them just sign a MOU with the government to train.
Who?
You know who already.
How much they collect?
5 million from my insurance company half it already. And
They collect 5 million?
Yeah, 5 million.
Loans from in here,
The when said much 5 million?
Yeah.
There's somebody from the transport sector.
Yes.
Collect 5 million from our insurance company for first responded program. You don't know who?
I must the criminal, man. Me know a woman. Me know a small woman, the rhino. I must the rhino, you know.
And then all of a sudden them sign a MOU with government to train. But did you know that the Ministry of Health have some funding for the same program? So when we were talking to them, they would have never come to any of the meetings or the training. Oh. Then I made some checks back with my link in Canada because we had presented it to UN Agriculture and they released it globally and they gave funding globally. Only to realize that the same money that Ministry of Health is sitting on, not training the people, is the same money that came into UN Agriculture. So you see all of the program that one investor had and the amount of red tape and everybody wants a piece of food down to the mayor of the city. They want a piece of food to push it through.
I wonder how much money the billionaire give them when they go to Washington go meet with him. To bring in the satellite system in Jamaica to get internet. Elon, must Elon.
Jeffrey.
But Jeffrey.
That system, that system will over real kind of worms.
Yeah, man. If you come, make them top them and who for go prison.
Yeah, remember Cat Mouth kill Cat?
Of course.
Aluma somebody says so. We're gonna switch gear.
Is that low and some?
Yes, yes.
I need to do a story on the MOU signed since weekend.
You gotta do it, because that rhino, I grab the rhino, man. Because I don't understand how a convicted criminal, you have your signed MOU and a give, but you got train all over the court. Can I tell you this no, man, me not play with them, man. I'm not playing.
But you know, low and some. Me vex, why me vex? Me vex, my friend is down on in this, in glasses, Because he have the file on the man, and now give it,
Me need it.
Right there, you have the file on the man, and now give it, man.
Me need it, man.
Hold on, hello. Ratty can have file for everybody in Jamaica,
Me need it. You understand? I need that file.
Sir Rattigan, sir.
Yes, sir.
You're not going to give Mr. Lonesome the file for the man who you have wake up in weekly Zoom meeting right there.
Which one that?
Rattigan, I need that file,
A Zoom meeting, look upon man, transport Zoom meeting went on.
Oh.
I need that file. But I tell you something, man, that man, boy, I tell you, you go to court. Them charge you for 12 year old. You're not supposed to no when near no transport sector. A matter of fact, if I work with Juicy Beef, the truck will go for the cow them. And then you understand? Not name, you know, female and not the transport sector, not like that. Because when I see you get charged and them things, no way. You understand? And this when I go like, you know, if just a customer, you know, in a TA. Yes, brother.
Yesterday, man, for go up on a juicy beef truck, but female called up on it to the brother.
When them go plant them foot. No, want some donkey pan it, because donkey will bite. So you try to donkey them bite, yo. So they be biting. You understand?
You know, gentlemen, corruption stink to the highest heaven in this country. We're gonna switch gear to the Jamaica Football Federation.
Oh Lord.
Because yes, sir, no. That corrupt for man in brother.
And
Me see them take, me see them take when a guy call Lizard. A guy call Lizard, them a send over there.
Who name guy call Lizard now?
The guy call with the dad was MSW, one of them places.
Oh no, he was. Dennis was at the
Geico you're talking. No, you're talking.
Yeah, Geico. Yeah.
Yes, Geico.
He was at PSOJ. But the irony is this: Dennis was on the financial committee of the JFF before he quit. Right? And now he's coming back to be general secretary because
the JFF?
Of course.
Yes.
Him still at the waste place? Come on, waste, you know. Him still at the waste place?
I don't know if he's still there. I think he might have quit that. Because he made an announcement coming back that they have a surplus of $20 to $30 million in the JFF. So my question is this: if there's a surplus of money, how did the JFF manage to leave the women's team stranded in Mexico and the men's team stranded in Suriname with this kind of surplus?
With a surplus, well, the man team them can stranded, but not leave the woman team. Them because the woman team them are better than the man team.
Yes.
Man team them are waste, you know.
Yeah.
A waste of money.
A waste of money.
So the woman team them are advanced more right now than where them said card body line and pocket like the captain, you know. When them done with it, them just line and pocket.
Yeah.
Which captain are you talking about now?
The same one we're going to go
yeah, well, it passed on now, but he built his business all the way to Cayman Islands,
me I tell you, man.
Turks and Caicos, and throughout Jamaica. The captain's bakeries all over. For a man who I knew him as a 15-year-old, with him dry foot when him come to Kingston, staying at Pennant Avenue there, off of Whitehall Avenue, before him win this scholarship to Sanders, right? The man had no money. So how comes him turn multimillionaire overnight?
That me I say. That me I talk about.
And the rest of these people in there, that's their objective too, to become multimillionaires as well. And then I heard the rumor now is they bought large pieces of property down in Jamaica. So I'm saying, what's the plan? Is this a development of football or is this a personal investment? This is some of the questions that need to be answered. I cannot understand if the FBI can investigate US Soccer Federation and FIFA, the World Football Body. Why can't the FID of Jamaica or MOCA investigate the JFF to see where all the money?
Politician mix up the money there, brother. I'm mixing up everything, you know.
Don't you realize that MOCA and SOCA and BOCA and Akana Loca, them corrupt too? Look here, if you have twiddly dum-dum,
yes,
you can't even fight crime in the country. And the insecurity minister Everything change car. If I don't want Prado, I want Audi. And all I can hear, we want, give away. How do you expect these people do not want to fight crime in their country?
But brother, let me just answer that little question. Oh, you take a man where you have a stone crusher gang. Me looking at WikiLeaks, I want me look where the money laundering and who mix up in this and then turn a man in a security minister. That's a no for me, no. That's a no, but brother, we have to get serious now and take back our country from these gangster mobsters and criminals, you know. We are
scammers.
Them yeah. And talk about more and take up title most honorable, most dishonorable. What honorable about them?
You know why that
happened? Them started scamming in Jamaica to better.
You know what? You know
what? Little man I get locked up, brother.
You know why that happened? Why you have a medical doctor with decades of medical experience put in charge of national security? It goes back, and this is just my theory, it goes back to where you said about the cable that went from the embassy in Jamaica to the State Department and various entities in Washington, D.C. about him. What happened, I believe, is that this man was so loyal to the Prime Minister. If you remember, when the Prime Minister come under pressure, he was one of the most ardent supporters, right? And so him loyal to him. Now, here's what happened. Him have to do that because otherwise, investigative agencies in Jamaica might be forced to investigate him. But when you put him in charge of the investigators and the investigative unit, who are going to investigate him? Who? It's a smart move. It's a smart move. The man have secret for you. The man have secret. We believe that man they have secret for him. The man loyal to him.
So who and the man tell because them have to brief him. So them have to brief him. So who can tell I talk about him, you know, now I talk. And that's like we loans my real renegade, you know.
Okay. The same thing happened just after the incursion, you know, when Adelune resigned, you know. The person that assumed the position from Adelune was there only to facilitate, to advise them when another extradition order came in for certain people. And you would have known that in that extradition order for Dudos, it had, I think two former prime minister, or one former prime minister and a prime minister, a senior superintendent of police. It had, well, two, yeah, and an acting commissioner of police, and some big MPs too. So remember that, you know. So the extradition order for Dodos was just for him alone. And your friend, when they signed the paper, and he used to the destroyer, wait for him out to sea. Remember, that Sunday night, him they announced it, you know.
But the man got a lie because them asked him in an Henry Morgan house. And him tell lie and then him come back and say, well, I'm sanction man at Philip and Philip. That's why I say you can't be a prime minister, you so lie. You understand? And then you misled the whole nation. And then you come back and say me pay for this. But me do it as a prime minister, you know, you sanction gangster. But
let me ask that question.
Well, on the brother, over 1,000 people then and dangerous gang, and then you say, oh, me do it as a leader, as a party. You can't do that. You're the prime minister. You understand? You cannot do that. And then you want to fight crime and all kind of things. We can't believe in you. And then you turn around and make much the encouragement go on over 70 people then say I go say more than that. How much mime up, man? Him evil, man. Him too evil, brother. And that one was part of the cabinet too. Yeah, man. That's the right
Are the security minister doing, you know?
Yeah?
Count Chang as a blessing. Because if I tell you who wanted it, you'd have dropped down.
I can tired of it, you know. And
my ballot friend from West, they wanted it, you know.
Yeah?
Oh, but I often way out because of certain things, why I'm not getting it.
Who?
Yeah? Eh?
Who?
West from me, man.
Hello, listen to me. The American government tell us they can't give no position.
No, because of certain things. That's why. But he wanted it. He was gonna get it.
Who to do what? That? Oh, with the kind of stain where they pan feet alone, it depends on one or two. But they cannot skin on them one day, you know. It's terrible, you know. I'm on the terrible body, no, brother.
So counting is a blessing. Counting is a blessing. Yeah. Counting is a blessing. Remember me tell you that. You know? Counting is a blessing.
And then when me, you know what hurt me? When me see them man, I get up and I say, criminal this and criminal that. Me say, look what talk. That's how the country now move. But people are gonna vote for what happened to no. Get real, man. Them people, me no recognize it as no national security minister neither, brother. If you can tell me about criminal, every criminal me hold you as a criminal, brother. You understand? Me no business. Me can't recognize them people when you look in him, I call up in every kind of ranks. And me for recognize you, brother. I run the country. You know them position.
Lonesome, why you answer a question for me? Warm to the plane where crash land.
The plane crash land, you know. All that now. So I'm going to answer your question. So the plane crash land, them say crash land. Remember, if you come from somewhere, right? And your plane getting a difficulties and you crash land, you're not going to run from authority, right? And nobody not going to move you. You got to seek some medical attention. And then people are going to come for your plane and try to retrieve your plane and things. Nothing like that. Then you have them run out, minister, and them run out and say, oh, no car going to you can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. And we're done with the plane. We know where it come from Mexico. We say, okay, from here that we know so drugs cartel and all kind of things. And them thing there. And we know who did night, but and yesterday them leave the island. Not by airplane. We don't know them leave the island.
But certain members of the government need to answer, you know. Which drugs cartel came to Jamaica to cool out in the hills of Blue Mountain?
St. Thomas.
In St. Thomas, rather. Until you tell about the bulletproof vehicle and police protecting them, you know.
But you want to hear something else too. You ask which government member take private plane, go Turk and Caicos, so collect a bag of money, come in and come to the same Baskerville airport. And remember, you know, me tell you, say Scott, we're dead. Yeah, Superintendent Scott, Brown Scott, we're dead. They look and when did that police the name, I soon tell him name, the sergeant, but they did and say, young, they have to look, you know, they have to search. Him still what? That way one name. Yeah, I look for them thing until him name. That sergeant, that superintendent, him dead and all. Him did I get out of some who to tell the sergeant that. So that place run so sloppy. They have minister right now. Then they leave and go Turks and Caicos to carry money to that airport. Yeah? So that airport are them look for the big boys. And for the, I'm sorry, it's not an airport, it's an international coke port. Yeah, it's about to call it as is. You understand? Yeah, man. It's an international coke port. And then, right again, you have to make the government know, make the US government know, say, no, it kind of dangerous because if certain people can just hire a plane and come to, that means China anywhere could have come, anybody Russia anywhere, and carry a dirty bomb, and you go touch something, and then you label us as a terrorist current, you know, because I'm hoping for the big boys who have money.
Like how Vladimir Putin is on him wrong side. They talk about nuclear this. You have a point.
Yes, I'm have to be careful.
But look, the national security is non-existent because listen, in them documents here, right? Them claims one of them priority is to protect the borders, airspace and maritime borders of Jamaica, right? And that come under military and JCF, right? And them can't explain to this how that plane fly and come in Jamaica. It breached Jamaica airspace. And nobody no respond. It just
because of the big
with the black box. With the black box. With the black box.
Them have it and them not retrieve that neither. And the plane just stay. It don't make no sense. So that means I say it does not make no sense.
There's no transparency. They don't bring out the facts to Jamaica public. I can't believe the Jamaica public can be this naive to the point of being stupid, not asking the right questions. You can't be that dedicated to a party wearing green or wearing orange or what the hell you want to wear to praise a party and not ask the right questions about the party's corruption.
But Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
if we don't have any media in Jamaica, if all the media houses in Jamaica is in the back pocket of the government, you think the question you're gonna ask? It leads up to bloggers like Wayne Lonesome.
Yes.
And the rebel from St. Thomas, who's a great grandson of Paul Bogle, myself and other people. Because there's no media in Jamaica to ask the questions that need to be asked.
Well, let me ask a question now. And Wayne, you're probably aware of this. The president of JFF called a man Batman on radio, right? The man take him to court and him win the case, defamation case. The judgment is $9 million. Now we commented before, Jamaicans owe 900, 9,000, 90,000, and the police come. I didn't know you had debtors prisoner in Jamaica where the police can put you in jail till you pay somebody. Is that is that right? Well,
yeah, they can.
So how come this man owe 9 million for his comment and government don't touch him? Nobody say anything to him. You see, the pipeline of corruption, all that money that FIFA passed through the palms of the JFF, could it possibly hit the palms of politicians as well? That's why nobody can say anything.
Listen, that's the place where you see all of these kind of places them use and wash money, you know. They wash a lot of money. And in a Jamaica too, you have a lot. Let me tell you about some corruption we run in Jamaica. And I have to talk it, we talk it blunt. Because you know, say me, as Radigan, that's alone some of the renegade. Don't business. You have a lot of the so-called liars, them lawyers in a Jamaica, them do money laundering. You have politicians do money laundering to the same man, them might have hustler, foreign and everything. And when the man them want the money, them turn around and kill them. Them set them up. When them come to Jamaica, police kill them. Because them carrying the money, you know, through certain privilege and them politician thing and them thing, them carry the money. The lawyers, them do it too. You understand? So Jamaica is that country who have to cut up them link there. Because if you know them link, you know, that you may suffer because of be a red tape. So in America now, it matter about American smarter than that. And Canada smarter than that, UK smarter than that. When they do your money laundering, you them do not put up red tape for the little man we don't even when them get $100 in a MoneyGram or something. Where you get the money from, it come down, hold it $100. That wouldn't be money.
I went to Western Union one time to collect some money. And I said, Mr. Tavares, where you get the money from? I said, I go backward last night. What am I use the money for do? But tell us something. Some questions that they're asking us, you know. They're not asking those criminals in the House of Parliament, you know.
No. The money come through the bank. So even the bank, the criminal, remember, you know, for the money run, what do you think a bank the other day get charged to better them? Because you're not supposed to say, remember me get full inside Pangwagwan from inside. When the bank would get charged the other day, the better them, then them turn and charge the bank them how much money instead of the better them. From up in New Kingston, there so. Politicians use the bank and big boys use the bank. So if you have some money, you're not supposed to send like US like more than 10% of what you're having at savings with it. Remember them did have remittance license to and everything. Bank of Jamaica force to take it away because the US step in and see where did that go on. You understand? Because I be a money laundering used to run through that bank. Believe it or not. See? Another little man, remember them now have nothing, you know. But you put red tape to stop the little man them. Forget for them, we don't know why you do this to the people them. And the people them still have vote and don't even question these things. You understand? The red tape can't go for the little man. It not stop them.
I have to ask Mr. Rottigan this question. Is every year the government give a booklet to get donor funds?
Every year them get donor funds.
Yeah, every year them yeah. Some of it them have them submit a proposal. Some of it it's them fill out a form. And
Yes.
some of it them go and come at DC and beg.
Yes, and somebody remember you have some commitment to, you know, from the EU and thing, because when them do them get some money also, you know, like I see these things where it like they help in a community, you know, like unattached youths and them thing there, them collect a lot of these money too, you know. I mean, at big money, you know. You understand?
But Jeffrey.
Yes.
So we run for his friend there, the SSP. Now him that about the Jamaica to get donor funds.
Hello, that man is a drunkard from the pit of hell. As what we call him, womb broom.
A womb broom man.
When I heard him say that, I was like, this man really not no sense, you know. You know, but they say when some people love put pretty words together, then someone intelligent, you know.
And when he done talk about no, who is Rattigan? In live a foreign, he mustn't talk. That jackass don't realize that when the People's National Party and the Labour Party want money, then go to the diaspora go beg.
That is it.
That's the feeding tree. And that's why I said the diaspora need to stand up and say, listen, no more remittance and no more donations and nothing. And you know, unless we get certain things, unless the crime is reduced, them have to stand up for some things and stop giving to them.
What we need to do, and Mr. Herb Nelson Jr., what we need to do, along with Wilfred Rattigan, is petition the United States government to investigate donor funds. No more donor funds if they can't tell us where the money is being, because if the JCF is underpaid, the whole JCF over $18 billion how many years now?
So the government come and say you spend 176 billion, but you don't pay the staff.
There you go.
So it don't make sense. And when them buy with it, we don't see what them buy. Them all right, them build a station for 75 million. Hold on. I want me look them build it in a water bed. And then the government never come and look at it.
No man, the station, no hold on, the station wanted a shower. It never paid.
Yes. So you build the station, when that 75 million, that, you know, that little piece of thing when them put up. No, you want to spend 70 million to rectify so who get the billing? You know, charge them. Them have to sign something to know if this something the right, you never put in the right drainage, you have to go do it.
No, but hold on, you know, they were told not to build the station there. Go ahead, sir.
Let me just show something out there, guys. I wish I could have show it to you. The seat, let me see. Yes. No, the man name I got upon it. The man who sent it to me. But what is that the Ministry of Finance, them say them are going to increase the pay for constable.
Constable, right? Yes.
Right. And them say them going to go from the net pay, going to go from 1.7 million, right, to 2.2 million and 33,000, right? Mm-hmm. And them said the difference will be 200 and between the the pay that they get now and the new compensation system will be 272,838, right? Dollars. Now I get to find out that that's not true. First thing is that them never show some of the taxes when them take out of the thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But even that, look how cheeky them people are. Look what them do. You know the thing with them sending up to the police and said, this is where we are going to pay on, you know. In a small print, this has come from the Ministry of Finance, small print, you know what it say? Me have to enlarge the screen for the small print. It's a disclaimer. Disclaimer, you know. It's a these figures are for explanatory purposes only.
Yes,
That's it. These figures, it's a disclaimer. Disclaimer. These figures are for explanatory. So them not give them the money what them advertise, so them not give them, you know. Them not getting this money here. It's for explanatory purposes. Oh, you can't, hold on. Oh, you can seriously now talk to the police about increasing their remuneration, right? Them wages, them salary. And then you put a fine print on the bottom. Disclaimer. How that coming at it?
For me tell you, say, even the money where them say them spend, right? You see, when them did have the police them on the state of emergency and the static thing where them have some police I get a slice of bread or 2 slices of bread, you know, and one of them little water there, you know. One of the water them thing that sweeten water, you know. And you still that put up like a bag of money them spend on these things, you know. Money going in a pocket, you know. I be money going in a pocket. And when them do cut some ribbon and show you some little station and say state up there, I call them go build police fire station, 580 million down. And here one of them going right now. This is a state of the art. When look is a little dirty kitchen and 2 little dirty bed.
Yeah, man, there's man Mackenzie.
You know, that man, you idiot, you know. Where you remember say we're international travel. Where you where the state of the art there? And one little dirty fire truck down there. With an Mexico tank thing. Me I said this state of the art, this time for the 580 million, brother. This is over $500 million Jamaican, you know. 580 million, remember 500 million, $500 million, you know. This is building in a valley, none at all. Where when you build something, it values so much money, brother. Eh? Them to stop it, brother. This is not good for the country. And yes, still, make I tell you this. Me say, the thing I go on, and them I say, them I give in every constituency 2 million. You remember? 2 million?
Yes.
You go feed your people. Oh, you have 63 constituencies and you give 2 million. 2 million. If you have 80,000 people living in our place, some people might get just 30 cents. You just check with them 30 Jamaican cents. And yesterday I made 1 fire station for 500. Remember or not, when you put that together, that would be 126 million for the whole constituency, for the whole of Jamaica. To feed them, right? To feed them people there. And you build 1 little station for 580 million. It don't make no sense. You never have the money to feed the people them. You understand? 2 million for each constituency. It don't make no sense. Eh? Where you gonna give them? What that could I buy? Eh? When you split it up for 80,000 people living in our constituency, remember, you know, the voting poll, remember, you know, you have to multiply by 4 or 5. So if you have 36,000 people who have voted in one constituency, what to them mother, the mother and the father, what to the kids, them and them thing there. Eh? In a 1 yard. You see much have you multiplied by? Even if you multiply by 2, 36 and 36, how much? That's 72,000. Eh? But how much some yard have him, how much kids and things you go feed? Or if you give them 2 million, if you go split up against 1 hour, but yesterday I built some place so much million. I don't understand it. Can't understand it. I'll be a line them pocket, man. Them not do the job what we expect them to do, you know. Them are executive and I work as executive, you know. Them are work as criminal. I'm going to hold them to account, a time for hold them to account, because I tell me one now, them say politics have changed, and them things that people still, you know, naive. I will tell them no, a time for this, them to go with this thing, and no, a time for it to go on. We're tired of the foolishness right now. You understand? Time for them thing are done, but for hold them accountable. We need to hold them accountable, brother. You understand? To hold them. I will encourage your people them to, you know, when you have vote, make sure you member of parliament. If you bring the money, come here and carry a rumba and this and this. They talk straight, you know. Him a this, yo. Him a here take a remedy and eat that something and can buy you. Me no Twitter guy, brother. Yes, brother. Yeah, man.
Did you know a lot of Jamaicans don't realize it, you know? A lot of Jamaicans have never read a copy of the Jamaican Constitution. I said it on your program.
I send it on the couple people.
Yeah. A lot of them have never seen the copy of the Charter of Fundamental Rights.
No, they've never seen it. Because
they've never seen it.
Yes, yes.
And it drags my memory to the new law that's passed in Parliament, the gun or the Bail Act, whatever they want to call it, by the constitutional minister. Is it? And also the new Road Traffic Act that's going to come on stream.
That's a line police packet doing now.
Hold on.
Yeah, man.
We, Rattigan, Nelson, Tavares, Lonesome, Clark, I see there's a lady on the line named Marlene. We all need to come together as Jamaicans and start educate our people. They have smartphone. The time they go for a smartphone, they chat people business. They look for naked woman and naked man. Type in. Google the Constitution. Google your rights. The taxi drivers and bus drivers out there, stop depending on these power-hungry presidents. Go and read up on your rights. Go and read up on the Traffic Act, the traffic law. Start educate ourselves. Start a movement.
Don't move from there, sir. You know, say the other day when they beat the boss man, I hear the strategists come out, or Google Gaga come out and attack, say, the boss man, the police, them, when the police them for them version of the thing, him nearly end up in an accident. So they must stop him and him run. Remember, you know, if you're nearly, that mean you're meeting an accident. So him go stop at a gas station and he say, because if him disobey them, him nearly meeting an accident. Him nearly meeting an accident. Him not meeting an accident. So nearly, that mean you're meeting an accident. So you gotta stop him and then the boy might run for him to meet an accident. Eh? And then you come beat the man. Man a big man, some little youth a beat him. You can't do these things, man. They have to stop it.
No, but the commissioner of police, the commissioner of police endorsed the police to beat citizens.
That's out of
because when the journalists asked him the question about it, he did not say that should not have happened. He did not say it, you know. In other words, he's condoling it. Gentlemen, we passed the time we're supposed to come off here because the conversation is so sweet. And I'm so happy I have the good gentleman, Mr. Wayne Lonesome, on my program, the Make We Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Yes, better.
But we need to come together. We cannot be a divided people. It can't continue. The senior gentleman on the platform, your final word, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the jury is no longer out. The jury has to call on all Jamaicans to speak up, to write in, call in, whatever you have to do. If local elections are coming up, make your impact known, right? Make sure the people that you elect are serving your community without question. It should not be no, you do this for me and I do that for you. They have to serve. Service means it's no deal. It's just one way. They're there to perform on behalf of the community. So whether or not you're in government or you're in the JFF or wherever you are serving, you have to remember that nobody owes you anything. They don't have to bring anything on a platter for you to do your job. Do your damn job and move on. The bottom line is nobody should be sitting in the House or the Senate for 10, 15, 20 years. I said they're serving the people while they're getting fat. And there's nothing in the community to show for it. Too many communities after 20 years, they'll cover this beer when you check it. So we have to change all of that, right? Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure being with you all this evening, and thanks to your listeners, Jeffrey.
His Excellency, Mr. Wayne Lonesome.
Yes,
your
man.
final word, sir.
All right, me just tell the people, I tell the Jamaican citizen, get serious. Stop, make these people use you for just voting and then turn around and step in your necks. Stand up for your rights, yeah? And if you vote for a member of parliament, when you look 4-term, 5-term, and when you look for your condition of your road, no work, nothing at all, and you are talking about him good and them thing that you have, believe me, on a cycle, if you start hold them accountable, fire him. I'm not fact the first term and you not see him do nothing, fire him. You don't not talking with him. We are talk straight. We not go around, we not Google God talking, no, we are talk straight. Fire him, hold them accountable. Yeah? Stop talking about them as your boss. Oh, you number one, me not give a man no job. And then him turn around and start for me. You can't come to me for my job. My vote, no, it no works for me. No work for now works for me. And any man with MP will have to come back in the area, make sure every week in the area, and here we want to for carry it going to House of Parliament, or any Morgan House as we call it. You understand? He's not supposed to say to the people them business, but when you look when him win, we not see him back again till 4.5 years time and when the election ready for run. That will stop.
Yeah.
It needs to stop. You understand? Yes, my brother.
The Wilfred Rattigan.
Yes. Once again, a very, very lively, very informative discussion, and I trust that your viewers and listeners that they will have learned something from this, and those in Jamaica, they'll take heed. Just a couple of things. One is that what you're looking at Jamaica and members of the diaspora, you're looking at the opposition, not the opposition party. This is what the opposition looks like. The 4 people you're looking at right now. And what are we opposing? We're opposing everything that you've heard my 2 panelists just spoke about, right? One of the things, primarily the fact that we've been ignored, largely ignored by politicians. I say the opposition because, and not the opposition party, but the opposition because you're talking to people who are from they're from those dispossessed, those neglected areas. And we have, through the grace and the mercy and the blessings of God and others, we've risen to the point now where we can look back and we can start taking the scales off of your eyes and say, look, here is what's going on. This is what you should be doing. If you notice that in the ghetto, you don't have no politician who live in the ghetto. None. Tell me one politician who live at Boa Banks, who live at Tivoli, MP me I talk about. Waterhouse, Tower Hill, right? Tell me one politician who come from, who live in the neighborhood, who come from there, and like Herb and Lonesome say, them come in every 4 to 4.5 years, them give the obligatory t-shirt and the box of chicken, right? And you ray, and then you don't hear from them again. Tell me one of them who mentor somebody from one of them depressed areas there to say, me go mentor you so that you can become a leader in your community and you can be influential and an inspiration to the people who live in other community there. Because the system not set so. It not set for we, it's set for them, right? And all them care about is the vote. So them come in, them get the vote, you don't hear nothing more from them. Well, a new day has arrived, people, because you have some renegades now. You have some people now who are talk out the things, right? And who not afraid to talk out the things. Who not hide behind words and hide behind a dark screen or anything like that. You see the whole our face, yeah? We not hide. No, we not hide. I mean, when I'm at, me not hide. You talk to a man who live in a Saudi Arabia, when I'm at bomb place, me are the only American, right? Jamaican American, but American over there who did out and I do my work. Out and I do my work and I'm a bomb up the place and me never care, right? You talk about a man who them take off a bus right behind compound there, off a Seaward Drive running so to kill through political warfare. You talk about a man who have to run away from Waterhouse and go live at Kingston 11, right? Kingston 13, because the man, them, the Yap Sang man, them come across the Tower Gully and come over in a Waterhouse and start mash up house and shoot people. We witness 2 of my brethren them get shot and they made and dead. So when me afraid that I not consider myself a success. No, because a success is when the community is lifted.
That's it.
When one man reach somewhere, that is just an exception. That's not a success. A success is when you can look back and say the whole community is lifted. We can see where progress is being made. We can see where opportunities are created for people. Until then, we are renegades. We're not success. We are fightful now. And I want you to remember that. And we need to steer from the rumor mill and the rumor mongering, right? We need to join forces with us. We need to start up a movement. We need to make our voices be heard. And guess what? We will be with you all along the way. So, people, this is just the beginning. It's not the end. Thank you very much.
Clark.
So much has been said. You know, I come from a parish that is Callaloo and Green Banana, we're known for. Maybe with political affiliation, maybe. But I heard a story today of a gentleman was sent to prison for child support, did 5 years. And after him get released after serving 5 years, him find out that the child went to prison for was a jacket. Now the question is, what should he do? And I am looking at it from the perspective of the politicians. If they come and sell us a story and we vote for them, and after 5 years and the next election, and we not see nothing of that story then sell, what do we do? I leave persons with that question. You know, I like the Cuba policy where their local government persons, it's once they go into office, if they're not performing, they call an election and vote them out same time, you know. That they don't wait for the next election, scheduled election. And I think we need to do that in Jamaica. We start to vote them out before they even finish them term. Or we need to make a movement and pull them down, because too much stories and no delivery. Too much insult where they come and they sweet us up, and then when them reach office and them start drive the Prado and this and that, then there's wind up in down the AC and pass. And there's a famous MP, when the people then got him after the election, he said, "Me no owe you nothing, me buy your vote already."
Where's St. Thomas?
Well, I'm telling you one some, you know, be a vessel. You know, and every election is the same cycle. If I'm all two different, put a boot and red peas and ballerina and all clothes, a contain a load of food stuff for them give away, or a bag of money, 50,000 per person. And then what? We vote them in and then what? Nothing. Then I realized that the box food is finished when they don't eat damn thing of the box, nothing left. When you drink the rum, because politicians get smart and then stop buying Heineken, because Heineken was for one party and Red Stripe was for the other. The man then start buy one liquor no another. That's from alone them buy and boom. Because one back of rum drunk off more than a case of beer. You understand me? So them start buy the truckload of beer and then just buy a few cases of rum and drunk them off and then vote for them. But what after that? And we keep doing this as a cycle. At time we rise up and open eye. It look like we need to just go around and walk with some eye doctor and open some people eye, because they're not seeing, and bring some ear, nose, and throat specialists to fix them hearing, because they're not hearing. Something wrong. We elect them to serve us. We are the government, you know. We tell them what to do. But no of them tell we what them are going to do and what them not do. And all them do is get fat. When I look at the roads in St. Thomas, shit, made. I was in a car today and somebody said, "When this I go done?" And my son said 2030. I know I believe him. I really believe him. Gentle people, it's time Jamaica wake up and put on the orange and the green and even the blue. I don't know what UIC I use now, but I'm using a shake and thing. But you see, them are coming with a pretty talk, but what after the talk? You know, I don't know. What we're gonna do? God bless you. Shalom.
Before you leave though, what happened to the pool in your road up there? On the dump.
Where's that again?
The pool where your road, where in St. Thomas Road, the pool where I seen on the road.
Them pump it out, man. Them pump it out, but it's still open.
It was a lie. Them seriously.
No, me try to open it. It's empty, but there's no water in it.
And that me answer, but me think them dangerous, man.
But what
I one more thing I want to ask you about up there, so you know, because I notice the police kind of afraid when I'm talking, but no,
loan some. Let me answer the pool story. I passed Friday, and a month now them dig out the wall is a train them supposed to build in front of a housing scheme go across the road, and then just dig out the wall and nothing happening. And there's about 2 or 3 they call it box drain, but it's really like a bridge. Them a build one a license right at the Sterling Baker and Pavilion and one a retreat. A month now, maybe almost a year or more, them demolish them and start construction and nothing can open. The detour road, them mash up already. So
you know, I said to you, brother, though. St. Thomas, you know, Airport, Jamaica, a lot. That parish, them get the most aggregate, them get the most gravel, the sun, everything from St. Thomas, and then them angle it the rest. And the joke I make, you know, it's a sin. It's a sin. Yeah?
The second
St. Thomas build up Jamaica, you know, brother. And them get the reverse treatment. Yeah? Yes.
We have to do this next time again, gentlemen. My final words to my fellow Jamaicans. In the unlikely story, there has never been anything false about hope. For when we as Jamaicans have fell down impossible odds, when we have been told that we are not ready, or that we should not, or that we cannot, generations of Jamaicans respond with a simple creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Change must come to Jamaica. Yes, we can to justice and equality. Yes, we can to opportunities and possibilities. Yes, we can heal this nation. We will remember that there is something happening. There's something happening in Jamaica. That we are not divided as our politics suggest. That we are one people. We are one nation, and together we can bring the change that we need in Jamaica. For all those Jamaicans whose cares have been our concern, the work goes on, the creed endured, the hope still lives on, and the dream for a better life for my fellow Jamaicans will never die. With the words that will ring out from Negril Point to Moran Point, change must come to Jamaica. May God bless you, and may God bless Jamaica land we love. I end with my favorite song.
Don't sell out.
Don't sell out.
No sell out.
Don't some call me. Looking at chat and call me.
Let's see your number, man. I call them, man.
Gentlemen.
Right, you want to talk here.
Yeah, man. Drop that there. Don't talk to Lonesome, man. All right. Later, Herb. Herb. You call it later. No, no, eat me dinner now.
Remember your teachers, them now.
Hungry man.
Remember your nurses, them now. Remember your doctors, them now. My Highland don't sell out. No, 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 no. My Highland don't sell out. Please don't sell out. Remember your farmers, them now. Remember your workers, them now. Remember your neighbors, them now. My Highland don't sell out. Please don't sell out.
Thank you very much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. The song that was just played, I do not own the copyright to this song. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. May God bless you. Thank you very much. Until you hear my voice again, I am Jeffrey Tavares signing off.